Alrighty. What is up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well on another Thursday morning with another article review. We got Jessica Jones here today. Please let me know, as usual, if you can hear me. Let me get everything situated here. And yeah, we're basically expecting her to arrive today, and she did. So it's not crazy. It is a new hero for Marvel Champions, and we'll be going over her article right here. Make sure that you guys can see that. Awesome. And let me get my keyboard. All right. We're gonna go ahead and get into it here, guys. Do you have the link? Yes. Let me send you guys the link here. Link. All right. And let me pin that for you guys. All right. Good morning, Jeremy. Hope everyone's doing well today. Oh man, Sesame's behind the laptop. Probably gotta grab her. Just to double check, you guys can hear me right before we get into it. Let me grab Sesame. Look, Sesame, it's Jessica Jones. She was very into the show. Good morning, Web. I'm cooking breakfast. Awesome, dude. That's awesome, Pampa. What a great breakfast meal here with Jessica Jones. All right. All right. Thank you for confirming that. You guys can hear me. Okay, let's go ahead and get into it, guys. All right, we're gonna get into it here. So we've got Jessica Jones. Her article has been dropped here for Marvel Champions, and says here on the case, presenting a first look at the Jessica Jones Hero Pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. And we can see right here her Hero Pack. Yeah, it's like the new packaging there. Very cool colors, actually. And we got Jessica Jones art right here. All right, let's go ahead and let me make sure you guys can see that. Yeah, all right, let's jump into it, guys. Okay, so gotcha, Jessica Jones. Briefly known as the costumed hero Jewel, Jessica Jones' life came to a screeching halt when the supervillain Purple Man, that's Kilgrave from the Disney Plus show or Netflix series, kept her as a psychically controlled prisoner for 8 months. Sorry, I couldn't say that. Once she managed to escape this abuse, she built alias investigations to help those with nowhere left to go. Now she and her husband Luke Cage. Oh, she's already married to Luke. At this point, whenever her hero is out here in Marvel Champions, her husband Luke Cage are splitting their time between fighting the good fight and raising their baby girl Danielle Danny Cage. Fantasy Flight Games is proud to announce the Jessica Jones Hero Pack for Marvel Champions, the card game. As a star member of the Defenders, Jessica Jones enters the fray with this expansion pack, which introduces her as a new playable hero alongside her 16. So she's probably got like an ident or like a permanent type card here. So it looks like this is the card here. Her like what's that called? Private investigator stuff. Her alias investigations are gonna be like a permanent support, it looks like. Paired with a pre-built Justice deck to aid her in thwarting the villain schemes, you'll be able to wield Jessica Jones' impressive detective skills and equally impressive strength. She does have super strength from the moment you open the box, with the unique ability to defeat the villain outright purely through thwarting. Jessica Jones brings a totally new play style to the game. Oh, that what does that mean? Jasco, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, Rivera Gaming. Welcome, Gaston. That's crazy. So I'm guessing that her permanent support here allows her to defeat all villains through just thwarting. That is crazy. Okay, all right, let's see what that means. Holy cow, that would be crazy. Okay, so first thing that I notice here, she has 3 thwart, 2 attack and 1 defense. I was actually thinking like this is the sound that I want for her, like lower defense, and then like obviously she has super strength, so she's got to have at least 2 attack, and then being a 3 thwart hero is pretty nice. Okay, let's take things slow here. Okay, let's just look at whenever they present each thing. So gathering evidence. As a superpowered private eye, Jessica Jones takes a different approach to hero work compared to the rest of her peers. Okay, so in her alter ego here, she has 4 recovery, 6 hand size, and 11 hit points. So 11 hit points and 4 recovery is pretty nice. She has a civilian trait. Incognito mode. As an action, you can change the hero form. You cannot change it back. Oh, You cannot change it back to alter ego. Oh my goodness, that's still so powerful, guys. What? And the setup is you put the alias investigation support into play. This okay, maybe the rest of her kit is like very tuned down because like already hearing this right now that she has a separate win condition where you can thwart. And yeah, Ninetale says free flip down each turn. What? Yeah, so like on turn one, you flip it to hero form, you can't flip back down. But every single turn that you start the game or start the round off in your hero form, you can flip down to Alter Ego with your manual one flip per turn and use incognito mode to change back to hero form every single turn. So she basically has unlimited alter ego access, and you don't have to worry about the villain scheming on you because the villain will just attack you if you're in hero form. That's crazy. Um, I I feel like we said with Daredevil. I mean, maybe the rest of Jessica Jones' kit will be tuned down, but she's looking like the strongest hero in the game. No, okay, yeah. She's not looking like the strongest hero yet, but she's looking at really powerful for sure. Okay, so hero form here. 3 thwart, 2 attack, 1 defense, but all have the asterisks here. She has a defender trait and 5 hand size. Okay. Okay. 5 hand size and 11 hit points. Okay. So pretty above average right now. I would say it's well worth it to take -1 defense and get +1 thwart. But let's see what this is. Gather evidence as a response. After you use a basic power, you place 1 evidence counter on your alias investigations. These things rarely end well. It looks like it's going to end well for Jessica Jones, though. So no negative ability here. Basically, something that where you get to put a counter on your permanent support. 3 thwart with it seems like no downside. Pretty insane. Okay. We gotta see what the alias investigations does. Okay, so this different approach is already apparent when you look at her alter ego, which puts her signature permanent support into play. Okay, let's see what this is. Let's see what her main like mechanic is here. So alias investigations. It's a permanent support, so you can never get rid of it. It's a location, which makes sense. As a response, after his side scheme is defeated, you exhaust his card, place 2 more evidence counters on it. Okay. Then you may remove evidence counters from here, equal to the villain's remaining hit points to defeat the villain's current stage. Duncan, I put the article link as a pinned like comment here in a live stream. So if you look at the pinned comment, that is a link for the article. Okay, guys. I honestly I don't like jumping the gun like this. Okay, I don't like jumping the gun. Okay. Um, S tier hero, like I like I I don't know what to say. It's like I don't want to say every hero is S tier. Maybe we might have to make a new S tier and drop all the current S tier heroes like down. But like you have a new win condition in the game, and I feel like it's not hard to get evidence counters because each time you use a basic power, you get evidence counter. So you get a bunch of readies every single time you activate. If you activate 2, 3 times per turn, you're getting like 3 evidence counters that turn. If you get up to like, I don't know, let's say like 25, if you flip the villain to their final stage, every villain has 25 or like less hit points. Or I think maybe Juggernaut has like 27. I think Ultron has like 27 too. But like, if you get like a decent amount of counters on here, and you get 2 each time a side scheme is defeated. So you have like players side scheme, you defeat them, you summon up side schemes, defeat them. She has 3 thwart, and then you can like kill a villain and choose solo at least. You just kill that final stage like right when you flip them. You may remove evidence counts from here equal to the villain's remaining hit points to defeat the villain's current stage. Yeah, and then you just win the game. You just win the game. That's crazy. Hybrid says, so you basically build up evidence counts for 1 big hit. Yeah. Like maybe the rest of her kit will be super undertuned, but like I feel like this is so easy to do. And it's like beneficial to clear off side schemes. So you get stuff helping you out, right? You'll get more supports. You'll get, whatever stats cards that you want, like everything that you basically need. Just focus on that. And then you're building this out. You don't need to do any damage. And she swings hard, probably, right? Because she has super strength. So yeah, that's a crazy thing. I'm not sure how I feel about that, to be honest. I think it's a cool. I like that there's a new win condition. I kind of wish that it was more difficult to do, if that makes sense. Ninetale says you will still need to do it twice. Yeah, but thing is, like, I wish it said like you must remove all evidence counters, and then you can like blow it up on the villain. But you get to keep the remaining ones. But also, you could just defeat your stage 1 normally. You know what I mean? So you could just defeat the villain's first stage like as normal, and then save this for just that second stage to like win the game. You know? So you don't actually need it for both stages. You can like kind of split how you want to do damage and clear off side schemes to get evidence counters. But even as you're doing damage and clearing off side schemes, you're building evidence counters with this. So like I get the lore of it. I like the idea. I'm not sure if I'm gonna like mechanically how it is in practice because it seems crazy good. Okay, let me think about in multiplayer though. In multiplayer, it's not as good, right? In multiplayer, so let's say the villain has like 100, like 100 hit points at 4 players, right, on their final stage. You need to build out like 100 count. Okay, yeah, okay. In multiplayer, it's definitely not like I feel like in multiplayer is very balanced. In multiplayer, this works perfectly fine because even if you build up like let's say 30 counters on this, you still need to get the villain down to 30 hit points to like clear them up in multiplayer. So I think this is super balanced in multiplayer. Yeah, I think in true solo, it's bonkers because this does not scale in multiplayer, right? So only Jessica Jones is able to place evidence counters. Other players can't help you do that. No, it's when any side scheme's defeated, but also side schemes are hard to defeat in multiplayer as well. So like, yeah, this is like similar to like, yeah, this is I think this is a lot better in true solo when you're clearing more side schemes per turn. In multiplayer, you might leave one out because it just has so much more threat. Jeremy says she would be able to defeat the Civil War leaders in one turn, right? Then you may remove evidence counters equal to yes, yep. Because it says that for Civil War leaders on their final stage, it says they cannot take damage, but this says you just defeat the villain. So like we know for like cards that can't get defeated or that cannot take damage, if you just defeat it, it's just gone, right? If you like discard a minion, you like bypass everything else with that minion. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah, because this is not doing any damage. You're just straight up defeating. Jasco says, wait until you see some of the rest of the stuff. Okay, let's go on, I guess. Holy cow. I don't even know how I feel about this, guys. That's pretty insane. I don't know how I feel about that. Let's do a poll here, guys. I don't know. I'm a little bit conflicted, but maybe you guys will convince me that it's not a bad thing. But I'm a little bit worried. Okay. How do you feel about alias investigations? New WinCon. I love it. Neutral. Hate it. Yeah, let me know what you guys feel about that. But Jasco says it legitimately seems cool. Yeah, I really like what it does for like the game. And I think in multiplayer, it's really cool. I'm just a little bit worried that in true solo, it's insanely powerful. I'm trying to think like how it could be. Because, oh man, it's just like side schemes. You can clear like 2 or 3 side schemes in one turn in true solo, you know? I don't know. I feel like that's just kind of rough, especially because she has 3 thwart. Like, I like that doesn't. I mean, I almost wish that it scaled more for multiplayer. So obviously, when anyone defeats a side scheme, you can get 2 counters. No, there's only once per round. Okay. Maybe it's not as bad. Maybe I am like overjumping the gun here. You only trigger this effect once per round because you have to exhaust the card, right? So unless you can ready it back up, probably won't be able to do that. You only get 2 evidence counters per round. Okay, so okay, I think that's not bad. It's not each time side scheme defeated, so it doesn't matter if you defeat 3 side schemes or whatever. You only get 2 in that round. It's this thing, I think, that really scales better in true solo because as she's readying up, she can just activate, and then she just keeps on going. So, and then she's gonna place those evidence counters. Jasco, thank you for the gift. It says a goat trophy for 1,000 jewels. Sorry, man. I am noob streamer. I have no clue what that means, but I think thank you. If you know what that means, please let me know because I have no clue. I got no clue what that means. Okay. Okay, so let's look at her other cards, guys. Okay, so hero form, she can place an evidence counter on aliens investigations each time she uses the basic power. Since there's no limit to the number of times you can use this per phase, being able to ready your identity with cards like Breakthrough, oh, she has a ready, come on now, becomes especially important to Jessica's game plan. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's 0 cost? Come on. Response after an evidence counter is placed on alias investigations. Ready your identity. Show its card into your deck. What the heck, guys? Holy crap. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, guys. What the heck? Okay. I think I've seen enough. Like, we're gonna close the arc. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I've seen enough. Jessica Jones is S tier. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, she's gonna be S tier here. This wave is looking like it's gonna be the strongest wave of Mario Champions. I'm calling it right now. Like, I've seen enough cards, guys, and I don't know if I'm happy about it, but this is crazy. Josco says, I don't know what that means, but you should go. Thank you, thank you, thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Suddenly my thought about alias changed. Yeah, it seems like no one tested this. I don't think they tested this. I'm gonna be completely honest. I just can't imagine what. How many copies does she have? This is the 5th card. Dude, this is the best ready in all Marvel Champions. You have to do it after an evidence counter is placed, though. So it's similar to like She-Hulk, to where you have to basically activate first to place a counter in order to play Breakthrough as a response. But there might be other ways to place evidence counters. So if you trigger the alias investigations response here, so basically if you are already exhausted, right, you play Authority Event, right, you clear off a side scheme, then you exhaust this to place 2 counters on this card. Then even though you are exhausted, you can still play the Breakthrough. But other than that, you have to actually be readied up, which is I don't think that's gonna be hard to do at all, because you can thwart, attack, or defend as a response. Each one, right? Each one that you do, you get an evidence counter. And once you get that counter, you can play Breakthrough right away, whether it's the villain phase, player phase doesn't matter, as a response. You play for free, 0 cost event, you ready right back up. Holy cow. Holy cow. Ninetales says she only has 1 copy. Okay. That's good. That's good. I'm happy with 1 copy. You do get to shuffle it back in, but I'm glad she only has 1 copy. Joshua says it gets even crazier. Oh boy. Oh boy. Champion Mail says a lot of people think the new system would tone it back down. No, we're straight up power creeping. I'll be honest. I've been like on the train of like, there's no power creep in Marvel Champions. There's no power creep. I still didn't think there was power creep with Daredevil because, like, he's so anticipated, so hyped, all that stuff. It's okay. But right now, I think I have to, like, we'll look at the rest of the cards and we'll look at the rest of the wave. But I think this wave might be power creeping Marvel Champions, which I don't know if I like. I don't know if I like that, to be honest. Jeremy says, I mean, at this point, they don't care about legacy and just current, but this is so powerful. Yeah, it's crazy. I get that, like, you don't have the entire card pool, but you don't need it with a hero kit this good, Any player could defeat a side scheme. Yeah, to trigger upgrade. Yeah. For alias investigations, any player can defeat it, but it's only one time per round. So, like, it's not that big of a deal. Jimbo says, did you see the panel developers did Iconic Heroes? Yes, I did. Yeah. I posted a link to it on my community post for everyone to see too. I think they mentioned they were okay making things broke for players, especially in legacy environment. Yeah, I think it was Aaron that said something like that, I think. But yeah, okay, let me see what you guys have here on the poll. You guys love it. Okay. Maybe I'm like, I feel like I'm neutral. Like, I like it for the theme and like the like Marvel Champions classic, like, thematic, like, kind of breaking the fourth wall where you have like a new win con. I hate it for the mechanics and how powerful I think it is. So, like, for me, I'm kind of neutral right now. I'm like, yeah, let me see. Joshua says, on a topic of power creep, most of those old powerful heroes aren't current. They need a new upper echelon of heroes, and who better than defenders? Yes, but we don't have any current environment villains though that are like top tier. I don't think anyone's as close to Magneto. And like even beyond Magneto, we need like Venom, Goblin, Ronin back, right? We need like something like Kingpin to be that level of difficulty. So if they keep the villains on scale and like it's tough for Jessica Jones to defeat Kingpin, then I'm down with it. If like she just stomps all the new villains, then like I don't know. In multiplayer, the other player can help you right. Yeah. Good shout out. Yeah. In multiplayer, if someone else clears off a side scheme, you can exhaust this, place 2 evidence counters, and you can play Breakthrough if it's in your hand to get that ready up. So yeah. Batman says, is it fun? Yeah. It looks like very, very fun. So Juma says, They favor making heroes and villains be thematic. I think even one developer had to taper down Luke Cage because he wanted to make the player feel invincible. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Naito says there just no environments for scenarios anyways. Yeah, I guess you could like technically say that. Like I've seen environments as like kind of like it's like an arbitrary type of thing, right? Because it's like you choose if you want to do limited environment or current environment. But I think where it applies to the most is like accessibility, right? So like for like a new player who's trying to buy cards, they can look at the current environment in terms of like this stuff I can actually like get for retail. Everything else I may not be able to get unless I like pay like, way overpriced for. So like if a new player has Jessica Jones, they may not have Venom Goblin or like Ronin, right? But they'll have all these new current environment villains, but they might be like easy. Um, Champion says the villains that we see in the box seems brutal. Yeah, yeah. So overall, it might be great. Yeah, if like both the villains and the heroes scale up really high, I am down for that. Jasko says if the heroes are super high, then villains scale up even higher. Yeah, yeah. That's what I'm hoping for. If the villains also go high up, I am super down. But I am worried. I mean, Bullseye looks really tough, and Kingpin, we haven't seen enough from him yet. But I am hopeful that they're pretty difficult too. Okay, we're seeing some justice cards there. Let's hold our horses. Okay, let's continue with the article. So of course, Jessica Jones' basic powers aren't the only way. Yeah, so she can add counters to Aegis investigation through other ways. For stars, the card itself can gain counters once per round when you defeat a side scheme, including a player's side scheme, giving you even more incentive to take them out. Thanks to her alter ego ability, Incognito Mode, Jess can flip down to make use of cards like snooping around without losing any momentum. This is an alter ego Thwart. Alter ego action Thwart. Okay. Zero cost again. Remove 4 threat? What the? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What? Okay. So normally, if you look at alter ego action Thwart, it's like, okay, you can only use an alter ego. Jessica Jones can flip down to alter ego and flip back up every single turn because of incognito. So this doesn't matter. This is like as good as like a hero action Thwart, right? Remove 4 threat from a scheme. 4 threat move for 0 cost. Is there anything else negative with this? And you place 2 evidence counters on alias investigations. This card, the top card of the counter deck, if the card's a minion size can reveal it. Okay. You know what? I did read the whole card. This is not. I think it's still more strong than it is weak, but I like it. Like it's not terribly balanced, I think, because if you have to get a minion side scheme and it's like a super nasty elite minion or like a really rough side scheme, maybe you shouldn't have snooped around. I think that's so thematic though, snooping around. And Jessica Jones doing that like in alter ego, right? And then like they catch you, right? If you get a minion or side scheme, you have to reveal it. I think this is so thematic. I love the flair of this card. And I think it's not like poorly balanced. I think that 0 cost, but you get 2 evidence counters as well. So like if you have your breakthrough in your hand, you can play it like in alter ego form to ready up and then exhaust a hue for 4 in alter ego as well. So that's a really good combo with breakthrough and snooping around. This card is probably my favorite card that I've seen so far because I like the theme of it. I like the flair, and I think it's the most balanced card that we've seen too. Like so, yeah. This is my favorite card so far that we've seen. I think breakthrough is bonkers, and everything else for identity. Okay, let me catch up here with chat. Heroic Skeleton says alter ego Thwart makes a lot of sense for it, and I love her theme here. Yep. It's a really cool card. Nine says this also scales value with hard scenarios and higher player counts, so it would be fine. Yeah, true. Good point. Yeah, because if you're playing this in a 4-player count, you get a side scheme with like 3 per player threat. You get a 12 threat side scheme for a 0 cost event to take off 4 threat, right? So, to get a side scheme for your 4 threat move, this probably isn't. I don't think we use this card at all in multiplayer. It's too much of a risk to get a 12 threat side scheme to just remove 4 threat, right? Like you're losing more than you gain. And it's a huge risk to do that in multiplayer. I think in true solo, it's stronger. And it's still well balanced. Yeah. So it's crazy. So she's like more solo oriented then, right? I think she's a lot stronger in true solo. But I think that makes sense for her character. Like she wants to work like alone, but then she is with the defenders team. So it's like, I don't know. Yeah, I think this is the funnest card so far. Let me see. What are you guys talking about? The no damaging thing. Just gonna be shown. Oh, with no damage challenges. Oh, that's crazy, right? Wait a minute. Does she break? Hold up. I gotta pull up a villain here. Okay, let me think. Which one am I gonna put? Oh, sorry guys, Sesame is pushing the laptop a screen down on me. I'm gonna have to grab her. But before we do that, let me put up a scenario real quick because I wanna make sure I got this correct. If Jessica Jones breaks the game for a current environment villain, you guys probably know what I'm talking about already. I'm talking about APOC. Hold up, let me grab Sesame. Sorry guys. Sesame, you gotta stop doing that. You gotta stop. What she also does is like she'll stand behind the laptop and then she'll press keys with her paws from behind and like try to like lock me out my laptop. I don't know why she wants to do that. Okay. What are we looking at, guys? We're looking at Apocalypse. Okay. How does this work? Apocalypse attacks gain overkill, and you cannot defeat him, right? When Apocalypse will be okay. No, this is balanced. Okay, because I was thinking here, if you have, 11 threat and choose solo on alias investigations, right? Does that mean that you could just kill Apocalypse, but you can't? Because it says here, when Apocalypse will be defeated, you still have to do this, and he does not get defeated. Okay, so it's still balanced for that. Like, it's not gonna break Apocalypse or like Hella, right? So they're still fine. Yeah. Okay. I'm glad to hear that it doesn't break the Apocalypse scenario. All right. So snooping around without losing any momentum. If snooping around reviews a minion or side scheme, you simply use incognito mode to flip back to hero form and take the minion side scheme out. And maybe choose solo. I don't know about multiplayer. Relying on circumstantial evidence or stakeout to get even more counters. Oh my goodness. I was almost hoping that there's no other ways to get counters, but let's see what this is. One cost upgrade. Okay, I need to do the card count here after we look at all the cards because we need to see how many copies of each one there are. But one cost upgrade, circumstantial evidence. It's an item. Response after an enemy is defeated, you exhaust this card. Place the evidence counter on alias investigations. Nice find, that'll come in handy, Daredevil. Okay, so this works in multiplayer, and if you combo this with breakthrough, it gets you a ready. So I'm glad we don't have one copy of this card. So this is the 5th out of 16 card. I'm sure we got 6 out of 16, right? Okay, yeah, this is 6 out of 16. Yeah, so we have one copy of breakthrough, like Ninetale said. So yeah, breakthrough is basically a ready every turn. Like every time you have it, you get the ready because it's gonna be so easy to place evidence counters on alias investigation. You have so many different ways to do it. It's like it's a 0 cost ready that shuffles back into your deck. Like, sorry, Sesame's hair is like flying right now. Yeah, this is a 0 cost heavy, 0 cost ready that shuffles into your deck. So it's power creeping every single other ready that we've ever seen. I get that you have to do this response, but like you can trigger that with snooping around. You can trigger that with an on-demand upgrade, circumstantial evidence each time you defeat an enemy, like a minion or a villain stage. You can trigger that with a basic activation. Like it's so easy. Okay, then or stakeout is another way to add counters. A 0 cost upgrade. Okay, even better. Stakeout. Okay, I like the theme of this. As an action, if this card is in your play area, attached to a non-permanent encounter side scheme. What? So you get to just play it. You get to wait for a side scheme to come out and attach it after. It's like a better what's that card called? Chance encounter, right? Because chance encounter, it has to be in your hand to play, right? Like normally attachments or upgrades that attach to side schemes, if you don't have it in your hand, like it doesn't matter. But this you can just put on the table and wait for a side scheme to come out. So I guess I like that with the theme with takeout. So like that's pretty cool. But definitely power creeping here. As interrupt, when a character thwarts attached scheme, that thwart removes 2 additional threat. Okay. If that thwart defeats attached scheme, place 2 evidence counters on alias investigations. Okay. So this is like Daredevil's sense. It's like his which sense is that? The superior taste, the one where he's like tasting stuff. Yeah, so basically if you thwart the scheme that's attached to, you can take 2 additional threats. It's the exact same thing as superior taste. I can pull that up for you guys. But yeah, just the exact same thing. Yeah, so you attach to a scheme. After you thwart the attached scheme, you can discard this card, remove 2 there from the scheme. Wait a minute. It says this one says discard. This? Oh man. Guys, you don't have to. Ninetale says this one is stronger since you can trigger it multiple times. Yeah. Think about this card in multiplayer, guys. Okay, so you just play the stakeout. It's just in play. Okay, you just wait for a side to come out. Let's say you get a 3 per player that side scheme in 4 players, so it's 12 threat on it, right? If every hero thwarts has a thwart of 1, right? So let's say Peter Parker Spider-Man, he thwarts from the side scheme and stakeouts on it. You remove 2 additional threats. So Peter Parker thwarts for 3. Jessica Jones thwarts for 3 herself. You take another 2 threat off. She thwarts for 5. So that's 8 threat off now. Someone else can thwart for 2. You do 2 additional threat, and that's 12. It's not just basic activations. It's also like thwart events as well. So like every thwart event or every thwart activation just stacks on 2 additional threat on that side scheme. So you're essentially killing whatever side scheme that is. Like that side scheme just getting like blown up. And you can get 2 evidence counters if that thwart defeats the attached side scheme. Hold on, what does that mean? When a character thwarts attached scheme, that thwart removes 2 additional threat. If that thwart defeats the side scheme. So as long as it's a thwart that defeats the side scheme by any player, you get the evidence counters. So super easy way to grab more evidence counters. That's pretty bonkers. Champion Mel says, picture this. Superior taste, stakeout, ready sense. Dude, yeah. Her coming with Daredevil is going to be so fun. With superior taste and stakeout on it. Because this would proc twice. Because superior taste is also a thwart as well, right? So like Daredevil thwarts for 2 by exhausting. When he thwarts, he'll actually thwart for 4 because the stakeout adds 2 to it. Then when you trade superior taste, you do 2 more additional threat removal, but it actually does 4 because this is also another thwart activation. So like, yeah, very good. I think that's going to be really good thwarting from Jessica and Daredevil. They team up. Lydia says, so her snooping round is better. Yeah, so snooping round can do what, 6, right? Let me see. Snooping round does 4, so it instead does 6 dart removal instead. Yeah, I mean, yeah, her. I mean, I feel I don't want to play her in Justice. I feel like there's no point in playing her in Justice. Although I'm hoping to see cool new Justice cards for like other heroes, but I feel like in Justice, her thwarting's already so good, and she doesn't have to worry about the villain scheming because she can flip down and flip right back up every single turn. Like, she's like, I don't like, is she stronger than Cable, guys? Like, I don't know. Like, she looks really good. Like, her synergy with player side schemes is so powerful, and she already has a 3 thwart printed. So I feel like she may usurp Cable as the best side scheme hero, but also just the best hero in the game, in my opinion. There's so many cool things that you can do with side schemes. I feel like it's just really good for what she could do. Gaston says, when a secondary scheme is defeated, is upgrade this card or it remains in play? Oh my goodness. Don't tell me it remains in play. Let's try this again. If that thwart defeats attached scheme, place 2. Okay, it does get discarded. It does get discarded because you attach this to a non-permanent side scheme. So cards that are attached to like a scheme, if the scheme is defeated, it won't be in play anymore. Yeah, so we got a little bit of balance there. Naruto says Cable has better initial economy, and Jessica Jones doesn't seem to have any economy so far. True. However, all of her cards are so cheap. I don't think, have we seen anything 2 cost? We haven't seen a 2 cost card, right? They're all 0 or 1, right? This is breakthrough 0 cost, around 0 cost, circumstantial evidence 1 cost, stakeout 0 cost. Man, she's so low to the ground, but so much board impact with like the high thwarting. We haven't seen any damage though, so I'm excited to see she got with that. But Heroic Skeleton says, stakeout gets his card when the scheme's defeated. Yes, yeah. You can move it to another scheme before you cost clear it. What? Let me see. That's a really good shout out, dude. That's a really good shout out. So okay. Imagine you have 2 side schemes, okay? Stakeout, you attach it to one of the side schemes. You get that side scheme to like, 1 threat. You like throw it all the way down. This is an action that doesn't have to exhaust. So this card's in your play area. Oh no. Wait, okay, hold up. Heroic Skeleton says in your play area means before attach it. I hope. Okay. Nines is saying you can't since attached scheme is on your player. Okay. I thought that, but if you guys are saying so, that's good. because then you can just freely move this and just keep throwing everything. Okay, so it's only if it's not attached already to another side scheme. But when you move it, you can't move it again. Okay, I hope that's the way that's played there. Champion Mill says, since stakeout's an action, you can do it out of sequence, unlike Daredevil, who says it play during his turn. So yes, yeah, you're totally correct. That stakeout's action. So you can do this, like if it's already in play, and Jessica Jones is like the last player to take her turn, you can trigger it like right away for the first player on to attach on a side scheme and have everyone throw that side scheme. But I think Daredevil can play his senses out of turn. Yeah, Daredevil with Superhuman senses is action that you can do out of turn. You just play the top card sense deck as if you're in your hand. So you can attach senses out of turn. Even if it's Jessica Jones' turn, Daredevil can still be attaching his senses. So Daredevil can still play stuff out of turn. It's just that he can't use a basic Thor out of turn, but he can still play like Thor defense out of turn as well. So yeah, this card is very good. Like overpowered. This card is overpowered. Okay. And then let's see what else we got going on. We got to give him more counters. Okay, if the minion is a little too durable to take out in one turn, have Jess don her signature leather jacket to help her get through the villain phase and add yet another counter to Alias Investigations. Another counter. Crazy. Okay, let's see what this is. 2 cost upgrades. So this is our first 2 cost card that we've seen. Leather jacket as item. Plus 2 defense. Okay, so get the 3 defense. Response after you defend, place an evidence counter. Okay. I mean, I think that we're probably not going to be defending as much with her, but it's cool that she has protection hooks now, right? Like, oh gosh, this might be really fun in protection because this card is not exhaust too. Okay, let's read the flavor text. Luke, does she own any jackets that aren't black leather? Iron Fist. Okay. So yeah, she goes to a 3 defense hero in kit. But after you defend, you get an evidence counter. So this might be one of the best ways to spam defending, and you get a bunch of counters. Because Duncan says blocking adds 2 counters. Yes, yeah, because whenever you defend, it's a basic power, you get an evidence counter. And with this card here, the leather jacket, you get another counter. So each defense, you get 2 counters. So if you just spam defending with a leather jacket, that might be the quickest, most reliable, and consistent way to build your counters as fast as possible to get up to like, 18 or 20 or whatever, right? To like defeat that villain stage. Defending might be it. So this card I don't mind. I think you have to build it out though, right? So I think this might be a fun way to build her. So definitely she has a cool hook in protection with this. Like just this card by itself makes it really fun playing in protection. Shaving Mill says, doesn't protection have most readies? That has so many counters, not count her right. Yep, exactly. Game guy, welcome to the chat. Yeah, the new hero here talking about Jessica Jones, and I think she's S tier. I think, yeah, she looks crazy good. I think like Daredevil, she might be making a case for the best hero. I don't even know Daredevil's gonna be the best hero in the game anymore. Cause yeah, okay, let's look at the rest of the cards here. So even with so many ways of adding evidence counters to Alias Investigations, sometimes you may not be able to build them up fast for your liking. When that happens, you can always spend. Really, you may not be able to build them fast enough. I think I'll build them fast enough. I feel like I can build them fast enough. When that happens, you can always spend some of those counters to deal with the villain's forces the old-fashioned way. Okay, here's our attack event, such as with the card Big Mistake, letting you punch the villain really hard. 1 cost. Dang. Okay. 1 cost again. Attack event, hero action, attack. Do 3 damage to an enemy. You may remove 1 evidence counter from Alias Investigations. Oh, to do 2 additional damage for its attack to either gain overkill or piercing. This is really good. This is a really good card. This is a really good card. This is a really good card. So she has access to overkill and piercing. And like, so like this is great to like remove counters to like destroy like a big minion or even like a weak minion, right? You can just do 3 damage or you can do 5 or 7, right? No. You may remove 1 evidence counter to do 2 additional damage. Okay, you're gonna do it 1 time. Okay, so this is 1 for 5. It's capped there. Okay, I'm glad it's capped. But even when you're ready, when you have your win con on the villain, this will outscale Alias Investigations, because the new win con from Alias Investigation is that you have to remove evidence counters equal to the villain's remaining hit points. So it's 1 counter per 1 hit point, right? But if you use her big mistake to attack the villain, it's doing 2 damage for just 1 counter. So you're getting more worth. So you still want to play this card to will the villain down more before you pop Alias Investigations, right? So Champion Mel says, I mean, 1 counter is 1 hit point. Yeah, you always want to kick it. Yeah, exactly. Rimmead asked, does Stakeout go to the discard after the scheme is defeated or back to your player? It gets discarded, yeah. If you have an upgrade attached to any card in play, if that card is discarded or defeated, then the upgrade also gets discarded, yeah. Mega says this whole wave is going to be strong, yeah. Yeah, this is going to be a crazy bonkers wave here. Yeah. Sorry, guys, Sesame is behind a laptop. I don't know if you guys hear that. Let me grab her again. She loves being behind the laptop. I don't know why. Okay, so let's look at the next card here. All right, we got her digital camcorder. Okay. Let's get down. Okay. 2 cost upgrade. 4K digital camcorder. As an all-shoot action, it's an item. Exhaust this card and choose a non-elite minion. Remove X evidence counters from Alias Investigations, where X equal to 2 less than minions remaining hit points. Discard the minion. Wow. Gotcha, Jessica Jones. Okay. This is a great card. Yeah, you only use an Artigo. Doesn't matter for Jessica Jones because she's flipping for free every single turn, flipping right back up with Incognito. So she has the best access to Artigo actions. So basically, any non-elite minion, you can just remove your evidence counters and then discard the minion. It's equal to 2 less than min's remaining hit points. And it's their remaining hit points. So you can even attack them to get their hit points down lower if you don't want to remove as many counters. She has crazy good minion control. Like, even this is great minion control as well, right? The big mistake. 1 cost for like up to 5 damage, right? That's really good. And it's overkill or piercing. This you can use every single turn. It's on demand. It's an on-demand minion killer that you can use every single turn because you can access Alter Ego. It's only for non-elite minions, but it's on demand. So like, I would take that. Like this will kill weak minions for you, right? Like, she's wiping out minions, yeah. And then she has the 2 attack stat too, right? So she's got a lot going on for her. She's got amazing thwarting, amazing minion control. So she's got really good aggression hooks too. If you want to like swarm with minions, like you can take 1 out for free every single turn with this, and then you can play this to take other ones out. Champion Mel asks, does circumstantial evidence work with 4K camcorder? Let me see, circumstantial evidence. After enemy is defeated. No, it does not. Yeah, because this is after enemy is defeated, you exhaust it to place an evidence counter. This will discard the minion. So I guess that's the balance, I guess, that they want, where like this does not synergize with that. So like, yeah, discarding is not counted as defeating it. Yeah. Peter, welcome to chat. I just saw the notice article came out, and where's Web-Warrior? Yeah, we're going over the article right now. Yeah. We have 2 more cards. Oh, I can't wait to see these 2. Okay, you know what? We're gonna do the poll here. I'm ready for the poll, even though we have 2 more cards left to go. So you guys are loving Alias Investigation's new win con. Okay. Let's do another poll here, guys. Is Jess S tier? From just what we've seen, guys, I know I'm jumping the gun. Maybe I'm overhyped. I don't know, whatever. We haven't seen a lot, but from just what we've seen, is she S tier? Is she one of the top 5, 6, 7 strongest tiers in the game? I think so. I think she is. Like, her cards are insane. I'm not even sure if I like that, but like she is. Like I like it more for Daredevil than I do for Jessica Jones. But Gaston says she is God tier. Yeah, man. She is pretty good. Ganga says, I'm catching up on the cards I missed out, but she looks nuts. I'm voting yes. Yeah. Okay. Next card here is a support, another on-demand card. So she wants to build out too. She has a lot of like supports and upgrades and stuff. Colin favors 1 cost support. Artigo action, you remove 2 evidence counters from Alias Investigations. Okay, so a lot of the other cards remove counters. So maybe it'll be more balanced, but I feel like I don't have to remove it if I don't want to, right? So you remove 2 counters, exhaust it, search your deck for an ally and play it as if you're in hand, reducing its cost by 2. Like, guys, I don't like, so I'm like reading it one sentence at a time, like each line at a time. And like this is a joke. Like, this is not real. Holy cow. So you can do this every single turn once again, because for everyone that's just jumping in right now, Jessica Jones, if she's in hero form, she can flip down to alter ego with her 1 mana flip per turn and immediately use the action incognito mode to change back to hero form. So she never has to end the turn in alter ego if she doesn't want to, right? So she has a free flip. So with a card like Colin Favors, she now has amazing leadership hooks. You can play search your deck for an ally, play as if you're in your hand, reducing the cost by 2. So you do this one time. Sure, you lose 2 evidence counters, but you automatically refund the 1 cost to play support. Then every single turn, you can still do this and tutor an ally. No, you know what? The turn that you play this card, its cost is already refunded, because you got to think about the effective resources, right? So like Jessica Jones, to play Calling in Favors, it's 1 card from your hand, right? The actual Calling in Favors, and then 1 resource, right? So 2 effective resources to play this card. You play an ally from your deck. So that's 1 effective resource, that's 1 ER, and then you reduce its cost by 2. So that's 3 ER cheaper now. So for 2 ER, you're getting 1 ER back. It does require, though, that you remove 2 evidence counters, though, right? So you do have to lose the counters, but you already get an ally summoned from deck. The versatility of getting any ally in your deck on top of a reduction for a 1 cost reduction from playing this card, right? Then in future turns, you're getting 3 ER cheaper on any ally on demand from your deck, right? Yeah. Like, I feel like you play her in leadership now with Make the Call. She's crazy good, because Make the Call gets all your allies in your discard pile. Call in Favors gets all the allies in your deck. You're good either way. And this article action is not a restriction. There is no restriction on that, because, oh man, Sesame just jumped back again on the table. But yeah, like, because she's able to flip down like every single turn. So she's got the Calling in Favors going on. She's got to Make the Call going on. So we've seen it here. Like, I like that they have aspect hooks in every single aspect, right? She's got the leadership hooks. She's clearly got the justice hooks with the side schemes. She's got aggression hooks with all the minion killing stuff. And she's got protection hooks with her jacket. So, like, I like that she has aspect hooks in every single aspect. I just feel like they're all way too powerful. Jack Bell, welcome to chat. Think Effigy has knocked Jessica Jones out of the park. So thematic. Yeah, I mean, she is very thematic. I do like the Calling in Flip Favors. I just feel like it's really powerful. Mega says Cameo Black Cat and use the player. Yeah, Cameo is like so good with this, because you get the ally with the cost reduction that you need, that you lost on turn 1 with it, you know? 2 counters is basically equal to 2 damage, which is like what? 1 ER, great deal. Yeah, 2 counters. The thing is, like, you can get counters so easily, like what we talked about earlier, right? Like, each time she activates, you get a counter, you know? Like, you get counters. You get 2 counters just snooping around each time that you can, play this card. You get 2 counters each time you clear off a side scheme, once per round, but, like, you get 2 counters from that. You get 1 counter each time you defeat an enemy. Not when you defeat an enemy. When any enemy is gone, you get a counter, right? You get a counter if you ever defend, if you want to play in protection. And you get counters, like, from this defeating a side scheme, So Jasco says, power creeping who? The core box is not designed with all heroes in mind. Yeah, I mean, I guess but honestly, it's even like, I would say, maybe you can't say it, but I feel that it's like they are, I guess if you compare them to like the heroes in the current environment, they are stronger by far. I think Jessica Jones and Daredevil are stronger than like Wonder Man, Hercules, Falcon, Winter Soldier, and I think a lot of those heroes are really good too. Clea's gonna go crazy with her. That's something I didn't expect. I would say Clea, the protection ally. Clea will go crazy with her. I mean, oh man, I didn't even read, like, I thought it's like when any character Guys, this is in true solo too. So you have an ally that thwarts for like 1. It's doing 3 thwart removal on that side scheme. She's enhancing all the allies too. Mega says wave 7 onwards is current environment, so they're trying to power creep Cable. Yeah, they are power creeping Cable. Poor Cable. Yeah, okay, let's look at her last card. To grab an ally from her deck anytime, such as her husband and crime-fighting partner Luke Cage. Okay, let's look at Luke Cage here. Okay, it's very cool. 3 cost ally, 2 thwart, 2 attack, 3 hit points. Okay, toughness, defender, double consequential damage for each activation, which is fair with the toughness. So it's a great stat line for a 3 cost ally. Like great already here. Like not reading the action yet. This is pretty good, even though he takes double consequential damage. It's well worth it for the tough because you can still activate 3 times with him, right? You activate, lose the tough, activate again, and then he activate again. So it's better to have this, the double consequential and a tough, than having single consequential and no tough. So yeah, you just have more options. Okay, as an action, you can exhaust Luke Cage, deal with damage to give him a tough. Okay. Okay. So he takes the damage to get a tough. You have to exhaust him as well. Okay. Okay. I think that's not overpowered. I think that's balanced. I feel it's balanced. I feel it's not bad. He's gonna be a fun, like, so without this ability, he's not that fun to Voltron. But now I think it's fun to Voltron him. Because now you can give him unlimited toughs. So yeah, I feel like it gives him like, yeah, I think he's a good ally, but I think he's a balanced ally. I think there's really cool things you can do with this. Like you can do like get ready to rate him back up, do damage, give him a tough, and then like have him soak damage. Yeah. I think this is a thematic like thing too, right? Yeah. One to know that is if your has a tough, you cannot do the damage, so you cannot give him the tough again. Yeah. The cost is a deal. No, it's a deal. No, you can't. You can't. Scratch what I just said. If you can prevent the damage to him, like with what's that card called? With energy shield. If you put energy shield on him, you can prevent the damage and you still give him a tough because the cost is not to take damage; it's to do damage. So as long as you do the damage to him, you give him a tough, even if he doesn't take the damage. So that's pretty good. Um, yeah. Let's see. Nigel says basically blocks every other turn for 3 times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's doing a lot of blocking. So he's a block every other turn unless you have a way to ready him. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you just doing it for that, I feel like it's not the craziest thing, but Champion Mel says, yeah, he can block for 3 turns or almost ridiculously long with sidekicks. Yeah, yeah, if you can sidekick him, I think that'd be fun. So also stops all overkill in the box. Yeah, so like if you run a Voltron build with him, you can really unleash this and like get more ready with like get ready and like sidekick. If you don't run leadership with him, he's still fine for just the 2/2/3 toughness. And you can give him a damage to give him another tough. So he can block twice, you know. So yeah. Or block 3 times. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or even more than that, maybe, I think, right? Yeah. So, okay, let's count the most amount of times he can block. It's going to take a couple of turns because he has to exhaust each time, but let's see how many times he can block. So, you play him his toughness. You don't activate. He defends, he blocks. Next player phase coming up, you don't get to ready up. So, he stays exhausted. So, next round, he will ready up again in the villain phase. You have to take the attack somewhere else. And then during that player phase, you can deal him a damage, exhaust him, give him a tough. He'll block again. So it's 2 blocks. You do that again, it's 3 blocks. He's down to 1 life now. And then he can just block without the tough. So he can block 4 times, I guess. Before moving on, little spoiler, there's one more Jessica Jones card below. So watch it before making your conclusion. One more Jessica Jones card. So should I skip the Justice stuff? What's the last? Oh, right here. Entrapment? What is the last Jessica Jones card? No, it's not that card. Oh, I see right here. Okay. She has her player's side scheme piecing it all together. Okay, let's look at that right now. Okay, so the last Jessica Jones card that we're gonna see here is 0 cost player's side scheme with 6 per player threat. That's tough for true solo, but it does not matter because Jessica Jones thwarting is insane. This scheme does not count against a player's side scheme limit. When defeated, the defeating player draws 3 cards. No victory, so it's never going to get discarded. Oh, this is so good. This is so good. It's so good for her. she won side schemes, right? This will give her unlimited side scheme fuel for Alias investigations. When you defeat a side scheme, exhaust card to get 2 evidence counters. And you get to draw 3 cards each time you defeat, piecing it all together. You can easily defeat this in 1 turn with Jessica Jones because she throws for 3 with her basic activation already. Stacking all the other stuff is crazy. Yeah. Doesn't count towards the side scheme limit. You can always just play it and let a master plan hit it. 9 to says basically one way or another, but better. Better than one way or another in true in multiplayer for sure. In true solo, I think that it depends on scenario. Because sometimes if one way or another gets you like a 2 per player that side scheme that has no effect, then like that might be easier to clear off. You know what I mean? But definitely you can make the case like against a villain that has no good side schemes to grab with one way or another. This is better. So yeah, you can definitely make the case either way. But yeah. Okay. All right, guys. So we've seen all of Jessica Jones review cards. Let's do a number count here before we move on to the aspect cards. We gotta see the number count here. So piecing all together is 9 out of 16. Okay, let me type it in here in the chat, guys. We gotta type this in. So, oh, I see Miles here. That's pretty cool. And some champions. Okay. So 9 out of 16 is, we gotta figure out here. Luke Cage should be number 2. Yeah. Okay, so if I click enter, does that? Oh, okay. Sorry, guys. I did not mean to type that. Let me delete the comment here. Remove. Where am I going to type this here? Dedex put welcome to chat. Not sure how I feel with how strong the characters are lately. Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling too. I'm not. I need to see more, but I'm not sure about because everyone's so powerful right now. Champion Mel says there's one more below. Oh, she has one more card. Dang, they're revealing so many cards for her. Holy cow! No, that's not a Jessica Jones card. But okay. Let's do the card count here, kind of in our heads. So we know that this is the Hardeni card. Alias Investigations is 1 out of 16. Luke Cage is 2 out of 16. Right, see that right there. Then let me see. Is it the? Okay, so this is 3 out of 16. Big mistake. I believe we have 2 copies of this card. So 3 and 4 out of 16 is a big mistake as they're 2 like kind of small attack events. It's so cheap though, but it's small. And then 5 out of 16 is breakthrough. Snooping around is 6 out of 16. Probably getting 2 copies of this card at least. So let's say 7 out of 16. And then let's see, 7 out of 16. What else? I don't think we'll see the other events. So we don't know what the other events are. So 7 out of 16. And then what else we got? What is this? 10 out of 16. So the player's side scheme is 9 out of 16. So 7 and 8 are probably events. And maybe she has 3 copies of this. So it's 6, 7, and 8. Oh, 7 is the player's side scheme. Sorry. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So this is only 1 copy of the authority event then. Really? Only 1 copy. Oh, Champion Mouse says one more card below entrapment. What the heck? Okay, let's look at the side scheme again. Okay, that's no. The player side scheme is 9 out of 16, guys. Yeah. So the authority event. I think there's probably more than 1, to be honest. So I think this is 6, 7, and probably 8. So 6, 7, 8, or the 8 could be another attack event. So yeah, 6, 7, possibly 8. We have 9 for the player side scheme, and then all of our upgrades here. This is 12, 16, 13. So we got 12, 13, 16, 11, and we have 10, right? So we have 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. So we're missing 14 out of 15, which will be 2 upgrades. So we're missing 2 upgrades with her. Yeah, because they're in between an upgrade card and like 16 is the upgrade card, and then 14 or 13 is the upgrade card. So 14 and 15 we're missing. Yeah, we're only missing 2 upgrades. Yeah, and potentially a different event. For if she only has 2 copies of Snooping Around, then 6, 7, 8, then 8 out of 16. So yeah, that may either she has 3 copies of Snooping Around, or we're missing 1 event, and we're missing 2 upgrades, and we know that they are upgrades. Dang, we've seen so many cards. Is there another card shown here? No, I think that's a lost card, guys. I think that's a lost card. Yeah. So okay. I will post a comment here. So we are missing 2 upgrades. 13, wait, no, 14 out of 15, and sorry, 14 out of 16. I'm saying the wrong thing. 14 out of 16 and 15 out of 16. Yeah. We're missing 2 upgrades. Second player side scheme. Oh, that's possible. Oh, we could get a second player side scheme. So, uh, so we know that, like, from the Daredevil stuff, we know that the way that Fantasy Flight Games groups their cards is that they group everything together. So all the upgrades are together, all the supports are together, and all the events are together. So since we know that the player's side scheme here is number 9, and we know number 10 is a support, I think. Yeah. So and we know number 10 is already. So number 8 could be a player side scheme as well. Number 8 could be a second player side scheme in her kit because we know the event here is number 6 snooping around. I'm assuming we're getting at least 2 copies. So I think there should be number 7 is also snooping around. So number 8, it's either player side scheme or a another event, a new event, or potentially a third copy of this event here. 9 says no events left due to card count. Scoop is 6 print number and player side scheme has 7. So no more. No, remember, the player side scheme is 9. The player side scheme is 9, guys. It's 9. Okay, remember, it's 9. Like we just made that same mistake earlier. The player side scheme is 9. So her event here, we are missing events for 7 for sure, and then 8 could be another player side scheme. Beowulf says, "Oh no, yeah, I'm late to party." Yeah. Yeah, you're a little bit late, dude. Sorry. Gang guy says, like, my boy Nightcrawler is underpowered at release. Yeah, Nightcrawler. I mean, I think Nightcrawler is still great. I think it's still a lot of fun, but some of the stuff is pretty crazy. Playstation is a Nightcrawler in the pre-con, but has a print number 7. Oh, I see what you're saying. The print number. Okay, thank you. Sorry about that. I was wrong. So this is print number 6, and the player's side scheme. What is this? It's print number 7. Okay, you're right. Okay. All right, sorry. I was thinking on a different thing. Okay, the numbers are confusing me. So we know that there are 3 copies of snooping around. Okay, yeah, there has to be 3 copies because there's no in between snooping around in a player side scheme. So 3 copies of snooping around, guys. So she only has 2 attack events. So her attacking is a little bit lower, but it's balanced because she has that win con, where she doesn't need to do damage, right? So she has 2 attack events. She has good main control with her upgrades. She's got 3 of her alter ego Thor event. She has no other Thor event other than this. So maybe that is a balance for her kit, right? Because she can only play a Thor event with this, and you risk getting a main or side team with her only Thor event. However, she has a basic Thor stat of 3. So I see what developers were doing. Sorry, guys, that's me going crazy. I see what they're doing with that. I feel like that's the balance. Like, she doesn't have straight up Thor events. If she wants Thor, it's gonna be the basic activation. I know. I feel like I'm trying to like hope to say maybe she's not strong, but like I still feel like she's really powerful right now. She's got 3 snooping around. That's good Thor. Yes, it is good thwarting. However, you may get side teams on top of this, or you may get a nasty minion, right? So it's good thwarting, but it's a risk to play the snooping around. It's definitely a risky card. So maybe you want to run her with like the shoe package to like scry the encounter deck. If you're scrying the encounter deck with Gambit or something, or in blindfold, like this is really good. This is like, yeah, because then you control this and not be, yeah, then you're playing 0 cost to take 4 threat off. Yeah, so I feel like scrying's card probably gonna be super good with her, which is the mag too, right? If like blindfold sees what's coming, you can snoop around without like being worried about like getting caught. Yeah, so we're only missing 2 cards in our kit. We're missing 2 upgrades, 14 out of 16 and 15 out of 16. So that's crazy. We've seen almost her entire kit, and the only 2 cards she's missing is just 2 upgrades. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty insane, guys. All right, what is the poll here? It's just S tier. 78% of you guys voted yes, 22% voted no. I'm inclined to agree that she's S tier too. I agree with you guys. I think that's not really going to be a hot take. So like, okay, what are we thinking here in terms of like I want to go over the justice cards here, but I want to know, like, what are we thinking in terms of like how powerful she is right after getting a Daredevil who looks like to be, in my opinion, the most powerful here in the game. I think that I don't know, like obviously we need a player to really know, but I think there's so many cool things that you can do from side scheme synergy. So she has high potential, like her ceiling is very high. And I see what they're doing with the balance, right? Like how her kit is like balanced is that like I actually really like the design of her kit. I think it's a cool design. I think it's just overtuned, right? So I see the vision, and the vision is that she doesn't really have any thwart events that doesn't have a downside, right? Like Lydia's saying here, snooping around is always risky. Yeah. She has no thwart event that's without risk, but it's balanced out because she has a 3 thwart basic stat, right? She has a 3 thwart printed here. And she's got the stakeout to stack on thwart even more. So like despite that, she still has good thwarting, even though the Arc Eco Thor Super Run is a little bit more risky. For her damage, she only has 2 attack events, and they're both capped at 5 damage. So you'd be like, okay, normally I'd be like, that's a good thing for such a strong thwarter. Her damage is lower. So she's not going to be doing much damage. She can't burst the villain down. But that's balanced out with Alias Investigations. Because with this, you're essentially bursting the villain down. You do have burst damage because all you gotta do is get enough evidence counts so you can see the villain's like remaining hit points and you burst them down. So that balances out that. So maybe you would think, oh, her minion control is bad then with only 2 attack events. And they're like weaker attack events. But she can handle elite minions quite easily with her 4K digital camcorder. So she has good non-elite minion control. I think elite minions may be more difficult for her then. But like I'm seeing like the balance there, right? But I just feel like this outweighs everything. The amount of ease it is to get evidence counters, I think outweighs that balance, and so tips her over to S tier. Although I see like the other stuff holding her down a little bit, which I think is good for like balance, you know? Um Game Guy says alias investigations basically lets you thwart the villain to death. That's fun. Yeah. I I like that. I like it a lot more for multiplayer. I think that because the villain has higher health and the scaling for his card isn't better in multiplayer, because it's Jessica Jones putting like 1 or 2 evidence counters at a time each time she's doing something, right? No one else gets evidence counters for you. I think that's very balanced because you still have to have the other players help you do damage to the villain to get him to a low enough life for this to thwart them to like death, right? But I think that for true solo, where the health of the villains don't scale and they're lower, and this is still scaling like great for true solo because she's doing everything herself and she's getting enough counters easily by herself. I think that that's where it's a little bit broken, I guess. Um, yeah. Heroic Skeleton says 3 base store and building ready is pretty wild. Yeah, the thing is the ready, it's hard to say because like she's got 1 copy of it, okay? But it gets shuffled back into your deck. So like, yeah. I mean, it's more tempo. I think that's a good way to balance it, I guess. Like it's not gonna be you can't play through this in 1 turn because you probably won't be able to draw it like 3 times, you know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, this is a yeah. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Heroic Skeleton says, I guess Phoenix is the same way. Nah, dude, I don't think Phoenix is ending close to Jessica Jones. I don't think she's close. I think because like I'm thinking about Phoenix right now. She got 3 thwarting. When you want to do damage, she drops to 1 thwarting, right? And a lot of her cards aren't very good unless you're in your unleashed form. So like she has more sense to be in unleashed, but the cards have that weaker effect if she has 3 thwarting, right? That's like the balance of Phoenix. For Jessica Jones, she keeps 3 thwarting no matter what. And thwarting is essentially her win con because of this. Yeah, I don't know. Saucer Shape says she's absurdly powerful, and I love it. Okay, okay. Ninetales says similar to Daredevil, scenarios that require to have an exhaust may hurt them quite a bit for them. Yeah, okay, okay. Let's check this out. Let's check this out. Okay. Let's start a poll here. I think we are like 78% people vote that she's S tier. I agree with that. So like 3/4 people agree that she is a top tier hero. So with that in mind, okay, how do you feel that Jessica Jones is so powerful? I think that's the question I want to know. So Sasha loves Sampo. I love it. Let's say neutral and hate it. And we'll see what you guys say. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. I like her kit. So this is different from like just liking her kit. I think we all like her kit. I think we like the theme of it. I love her kit. I think I'm more I'm more negative though on terms of like how strong she is. And the one thing like Josh was saying earlier, if all the villains are also like stronger, then I'm super on board with it. It just depends. If the villains stay how weak they are right now, and they're the weakest they've ever been, right? Like like Magneto is years ago, Venom Goblin years ago, Ronan several years ago, right? So although we do have some strong villains, like I think the Civil War leaders are strong. I think APOC 1 is strong. I think Salvador is strong as well. We have strong villains, but I think that they are overshadowed by the heroes right now by far. And that is worrisome for me. So far the poll is 50% neutral, 33% hates it, 17 loves it. Yeah, it's tough. If you love it, let me know down in the chat and tell me why you love it, because maybe I will love it too. if you can convince me, that'd be great. But what's the general thoughts on the hero? The hero is very well designed. I think she is amazingly designed. I think that for multiplayer, particularly for 4-player, she's super balanced and the theme works very well. I think that I like that Jessica Jones can defeat a villain by throwing them out. So I think that's a great way to incorporate how her character works. I love the incognito mode, being able to change the alter ego and how she has all these alter ego actions. So I like the concept a lot. I wish that it was more restrictive. So like tuned down. I want it to be more tuned down. If it was like, yeah, if it was just like, I don't know, like change to hero form, you cannot change back to alter ego to form this phase, take 3 damage. So something like that, you know what I mean? Or like discard 1 card from your hand. Like discard 1 card from your hand to change the hero form. You cannot change it back to alter ego to form this phase. So something like that. You know what I mean? Like just something to tune it down. But the actual design, I think, is very great. I think it's a cool design. Malik says, I love because Kristen Ritter, that's all. Yeah, she's the actress that plays Jessica Jones. And Sasha Shape says, this is exactly what I want for Jessica. Jada is okay. This is perfect in my opinion. Okay. Heroic says, spend a counter, do it. Yeah, like even, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. Shame has the same idea. Incognito mode costs 1 evidence. Yeah. If this said like, discard 1 or 2 evidence counters from Alias investigations to flip up to hero form, you cannot change back to alter ego form this phase, right? That would just something like that, you know what I mean? Just add a little bit more of that in her whole entire kit. I think would balance her out so much more. But just from like looking at her right now, obviously I haven't played her, so I could be entirely wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. But just from looking at her right now, I think, yeah, her theme is off the charts. Yeah, the theme is off the charts. So I'm gonna give them credit for the theme. I think the theme is on point. I just think that don't go back up there. Okay. I think that yeah. Say hi. Okay. But yeah, that's she's jumping off. Okay. So yeah. All right, guys. Let's go over the justice cards. That's kind of my thoughts on it. Let's look at the poll here. Okay. 41% of you guys love it. Okay. So the poll is changing here, and then 36 is neutral, 23 hate it. Okay. All right. So it looks like I'm kind of like in the minority in terms of like, I mean, I'm not hating it. I'm just not quite sure how I feel about it. So yeah, it does look like the majority of people love it though. So that's good to see that you guys are liking what we're seeing here. Jack Bell says, first character, I can't see me putting any resource cards in her deck. I don't know. I think the resource card will still be useful because she has so many 2-cost upgrades, right? Like, it's just nice to play this down with like 1 double resource, and then like you can play other cards, you know what I mean? Instead of 2 cards to place, it's still a good temple to do that. And then like Luke Cage is 3 costs, but you probably want to just call him in. What else you got? You have the leather jacket, 2 cost. Yeah, I mean, she's got a lot of cheap cards though, right? Like this is free to play, this is 1 cost. So you can definitely still make the case, but yeah. Bidwell says, WTF, she can defeat an entire villain phase. Wow. Do you think that's too powerful? Yeah, that's basically what we're talking about. We think it's really, really powerful. Okay, all right, guys. Okay, we'll talk more about Jessica Jones after we go over these justice cards, but let's go over the justice cards here. So, All right, here we go. All right, we got Captain Marvel. This is our third Captain Marvel ally in the game. The first Justice one, we have a leadership Captain Marvel ally, and we have Spire Woman's identity ally. So, okay, the first Justice one here. 4 cost ally, she's always expensive to play. I think they're all 4 costs or more, right? 2 Thor, 3 attack. I think we've seen this sign with her. 3 hit points, but 2 consequential damage for attacking. Okay, so this is not the best time for a 4 cost ally. It's a little bit undertuned, but let's see what the effect is. She does have the aerial and the Avenger trait. As a response, enter playability. Okay. After Captain Marvel enters play, discard the top 4 cards of your deck. Okay. You don't have to trigger it. It's not forced, but you can. If you discard printed energy, remove 2 from a scheme. Oh, it's the exact same thing as the leisure version. If you discard a printed energy resource, it has to be printed. Remove 2 from a scheme. If you discard more than 1, you can also confuse enemy. So if you discard 2 energies with the top 4 cards, it's just like all luck. You can get it confused and remove 2 threat. If you get that for 4 costs, she is very good. If you only get 1 energy and you get to take 2 from a scheme for 4 cost, she's still good. Yeah, I'll say she's still good. So she's very good if you get 2 energies discarded. She's good if you get 1 energy and only get the 2 threat off. And she is bad if you get no energies. So it's a risky ally. Yeah, let's look at that. The Captain Marvel leadership ally, because it's almost the same thing, except that one does damage. This one does thwart removal, which is kind of fun. It's similar to like the Hawkeye variant, the Justice Hawkeye ally compared to his leadership version. So this is a 5-cost ally from War Machines pack, I believe. Yeah, 5-cost ally, same stat line, 2 thwart, 3 attack, with the consequential damage, but additional hit point though, which is I guess fine for the 5 cost. Response after she enters play, discard top 4 cards of your deck. If you discard printed energy, deal 3 damage to enemy. If you discard more than 1, stun enemy as well. So, yeah. Auto include Injustice Wonder Man. Oh, yeah. Justice Wonder Man is gonna because of all he has the quadri resource and he's always having a bunch of printed energy resources as well. So that's very cool. Yeah, she's all include for Justice Wonder Man for sure. Good shout out there. Beowulf says better than Ironheart. I love strategy session. Amazing. I love the art. Yeah. Yeah, Saucer Shape says she was straight up invalidates phase 2 of the villain, which is good, but realistically, I like it because most of the time you want to invalidate the second phase anyways via building. Yeah, if you guys listen to that Con of Heroes developers panel or a designer panel, they talked about how they don't want you to burst down second stage of villain. They've been saying that, right? Like that's why Civil War's leaders say things like, you cannot do damage, as a one-wave effect on the second stage. They said that. They said they want to deter that, which like I like, even though I like to burst on second stage, like that's my play style. I like that they're doing that to counter me to make the game more challenging. But Jessica Jones bypasses all of that, right? Like Jessica Jones is bypassing all the stuff with her alias investigations. So like I don't understand what they're saying then, because they're saying they want to do that, but then you got Jessica Jones here, and like I remember just complimenting them about the recent designs, which I like that they're doing that, right? I like how you can deter that. Let me pull up the Enchantress here. I think she's a great scenario that does that. So on stage 3, whenever you flip her to stage 3, one review, you put the set aside Future of Despair into play, then place 4 additional player threat on it. So Future of Despair is this side scheme here. Enchantress gains Stalwart and cannot take damage. So the moment you review her, she cannot take damage. So you have to clear off the side scheme able to kill Enchantress, right? However, with the alias investigations, you're not doing damage. You just defeat the villain stage if you have their hit points in terms of their hit points in amount of evidence counters. So if you have 16 evidence counters on here, or 18, 18, Enchantress only has 18 life in true solo. So you just flip her and you kill her. Like now we don't have to worry about her stage 3. So it's like, I feel like Jessica Jones' entire design itself is already counteracting that type of like, oh, we don't want you to burst down stage 3. Like she is the ultimate burster for stage 3. Champion Mel says she also bypassed Thanos' armor and any retaliate. Yeah, she's bypassing like all that stuff that like I think is good for the game, So I don't know. Falcon would be great with her. Falcon's a great hero because you can see the top right counter deck. So you play the alter ego authority event for Jessica Jones. You always don't have to get a minion or set scheme. Yeah, that's a great duel. Sorry, guys. We're talking about the Justice cards here. We're back on Jessica Jones, though. Yeah, and I agree with Ninetales here. It only matters in true solo, and it scales too much multiplayer. Yeah, this is really breaking true solo for her, but multiplayer, I think she'll be fine. In multiplayer, she's probably like A tier. In true solo, probably S is what I'm thinking right now. All right, strategy session. We have a one cost justice event, tactic and thwart. So I like to see more tactic events here. Alter ego action. Choose a player to search their deck for a player's side scheme and add to your hand. Okay. Or hero action. That's cool. Remove 3 that from a player's side scheme. Oh, it's interesting. I feel like this card is not bad. I don't think it's that good though. I like the versatility that you can use in alter ego or hero form. I think that, yeah, I mean, I like it more for Jessica Jones because she has free flipping between alter ego and hero form. Yeah, but like 1 for 3 is not great, and only from player side schemes. I mean, okay, 1 for 3 is good, but only from player side schemes. Okay, only from player side schemes. So I think this card is not. I much prefer Manifold, like the Justice Ally, because you at least get a body on the table, and he's also helping you tutor that side scheme. You know, so I think when you enter play, you choose a player, you search for a player side scheme, and you add it to your hand. So I think this is better than the strategy, especially as an event. But I mean, not a bad card. There's definitely good use for it. I think this is a nice balance card. It says, "Okay, gang, I've got a plan." So yeah, this is a very balanced card. I think you can do some fun shenanigans with the card for sure. Yeah, there'll be times where it's better, times where it's worse. Champion team on the card. Yeah. Gaston says strategy session is made for Cable. Cable doesn't really need the alter ego action there because he's got the professor to tutor side schemes in alter ego. The hero action to remove threat from a player's side scheme. I don't even know if I would include this with Cable, to be honest, because I feel like, yeah, I don't really include thwart events with Cable because, yeah, I feel like Cable doesn't need thwart events. Because Mind Skin's thwart for so much, and then I'd rather get an ally to thwart for like 1 or 2, and then Cable thwarts the other 2. You know what I mean? So personally, I don't think I would include this with Cable because it only works for player side schemes too. It's not like it's helping you with the regular side schemes, which Cable wants to defeat regular side schemes as well. You know, so yeah, I don't know. I think it's a fine card. I think that it's well balanced. Yeah, it's not terrible. Like there's definitely a place for it in the game. Okay, let's read this part, guys. Sorry for taking so long to get to the Justice cards. Okay, Jessica Jones already has plenty of potent tools in her signature kit, but that doesn't mean she won't appreciate extra assistance from elsewhere. That's where the rest of her pre-built Justice deck comes in. Her best friend, Captain Marvel, can potentially remove threat and confuse enemy just by entering play, while Squirrel Girl, a Justice Squirrel Girl, that's cool to see. 2 cost ally, 1 threat, 1 attack. Let me guess. Okay, I'm not even gonna look. I feel like the ability is like remove 1 threat from each scheme. I don't know. 1 thwart, 1 attack, 2 hit points, Avenger trade. So maybe it would be similar to the leadership version. Response after you play Squirrel Girl from your hand, place 1 squirrel counter here for each card in your hand. Action remove 1 squirrel counter from here to remove 1. What? Oh, come on. Mega says Squirrel Girl is amazing. Yeah, it's amazing. What? What the heck? This card is crazy. Nar Antlers, welcome to the chat. Kingpin better be insanely difficult. Yeah, he needs to be amazing for to like keep on pace with how strong these heroes are and these cards. Squirrel Girl is a top 5 Justice ally. Squirrel Girl is so good. Boo Nathan says no exhaustion actions bonkers. Yeah, insane. Yeah. That's crazy. LOL. Yeah. So like, okay, let's think about like worst case scenario. Okay, worst case scenario, you have 5 cards in hand. Okay, you have no doubles, so you spend 2 cards and you play Squirrel Girl. So it's 3 ER to play Squirrel Girl. You have 2 cards left in hand, so she can come in for 2 costs and essentially throw for 3, right? But like from any scheme you want, you get like the best dirt removal as possible, right? You can take 1 from 3 schemes, 2 from 1 scheme, 1 from another scheme, or like 3 all from like the same scheme, right? So, and you can still have 2 cards in your hand to play it if you need to play whatever else, right? You can still spend those cards. That's the crazy thing about it. You can spend the cards that you keep in your hand, right? Best case scenario, okay, let's say you start off the game in Alter Ego, right? Or start the turn in Alter Ego, so you have 6 cards in hand. You have a double resource and you have Squirrel Girl. Use a double to player, then you have 4 cards left in your hand. She has 4 counters. She's coming in, throwing for 5 because she can throw for 1, and you can chump block. That's crazy. Her skeleton says she's just beat but without needing any X-Men. Yeah, she's basically peak, which is like, in my opinion, an Esther ally. So Game Guy says Justice is finally getting a buff this wave. Yeah, for sure. I feel like the aspect has been pretty static for the last few waves. I agree. I just don't like that this card does not change the aspect as a whole. I think this is a staple ally you put in every Justice deck, but it doesn't give you a new way to play Justice. You know what I mean? Like, I think Protection has so many cool ways to play it, right? With like Ready for a Fight, Alter Ego, Perfect Defense, Ready a lot. Aggression's got minion stuff. It's got weapon stuff now. Leadership has Voltron or like ally recursion. Justice is really just like you have upside the head, and then you have like, I don't know, like, yeah, you have like upside the head, and sorry, not upside the head, float like a butterfly. That's what I meant to say. Float like a butterfly. Yeah, you have like you put confuses on and you do stuff with that, but like that doesn't even work against Stalwart, So I feel like this is not a new archetype. I want a new archetype for Justice. Champion Mel says you play this Falcon Soup or Cap easy max 4. Yeah. Or Jessica Jones can call in a favor and play Squirrel Girl for free, and you have your full like hand size of 5 or 6 when you play Squirrel Girl. So yeah, like Jessica Jones loves Squirrel Girl too. Yeah, this is a crazy good card. Okay, so easy, stable Justice ally. Definitely contends for the best one in the game, but I think that there's better. Like I think the Scrying from Blindfold is still very good. But yeah, this is definitely in contention of the best Justice ally in the game. So yeah, super strong Thorder for just 2 costs. So even if like you just draw her and you have no more cards in your hand, and you play her for 2 costs, like she's still at least Thorn for 1 and chump block, which is like fine for a 2-cost ally. You know what I mean? Like to get that out of 2-cost allies is fine. So like that on top of the potential, the floor is already quite high because she's a 2-cost ally, and the ceiling is just insane. Yeah. Her acceptance is from the hand though. Oh, you're right. After you play Squirrel for me. You're right. My bad. So she's actually doesn't synergize with Jessica Jones. Let me make sure that this is correct. No, it does synergize because Colin Favor says, for some reason it says like this. Search your deck for an ally and play it as if you're in your hand, reducing its cost by 2. So it does work with Squirrel Girl. Yeah. So that means it does work with Squirrel Girl. This is crazy with the in-hand effect. Guys, can you help me think of what's the best ally that you need to be played from hand? I would say Moon Girl, but I mean Jessica Jones can't play Moon Girl. Yeah, because she don't have the genius trait. Play as if you're in your hand. Yeah. So Nick Fury and Professor X are all on play. So like any hero can get advantage from that. Like if they can recur, or if they can like summon from discard pile, right? But what I'm looking for is like what's a good ally that's like it's only whenever you play from your hand. Like Moon Girl is an example, but Jessica Jones doesn't have the genius trait to play Moon Girl. There's another ally where it's like if you play this ally from your hand, you get the ability. So Squirrel Girl is a perfect example of that, where like you have to play her from your hand. You can't make the call for her and get this effect off. But Jessica Jones can get it off with her calling in favors. I like how we haven't mentioned any resource generation with Squirrel Girl. I'm not sure what you mean. Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because if you play her with like a Helicarrier and like a Queen Carrier, then obviously you have your full hand size. Yeah. So that's just like the worst case scenario where you don't have anything. But like, yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna get this off, like all 4 counters, probably. Shane says, yes, Shane. Thank you. Welcome to the chat. That is the best card. Yes, that is the best one. I think that's the best ally for his card. Even if she can't play Moon Girl, she won't be good because she can't pay that much without mental reduce. Oh yeah, true. But that is the best ally for Jessica Jones, and I think that's cool too. Insane call. Yes. Yeah. Shout out to Shane here. Okay, guys. Spider-Man Peter Parker, 5-cost ally, 2 Thor, 2 attack, 4 hit points, a great stat line. Oh, not great. Like a good style line. Okay, for a 5 cost ally. Okay. Okay. Like decent style line. Okay. Response after you play from your hand, remove 3 per player threat from a side scheme. So at worst, in True Soul, he's taking off 3 threat. If 4 players, he's taking off 12 threat from a side scheme. And back to Jessica Jones here. Colin Favors searches him from your deck and plays him as if in your hand, reducing his cost by 2. So it's only 3 costs to play. With Spider-Man is that you cannot make the call for him to get the effect because you have to play him from your hand. So this is a super old card. My favorite card in the game, Marvel Champions, because the art here is just super cool, and I love playing this with Cable, even in True Soul. I'm getting good value from him, even against like Expert Ronin. So like this card, very, very cool. And now with Jessica Jones, I'm putting it in every Justice Jessica Jones deck because then you can get this off with this. That's so cool. Her skeleton says Colin Favors to play off-turn allies is huge in multiplayer. Let me see. Oh yeah, true. Cyclops and Maria Hill on first turn, as long as you can start in Alter Ego. Yeah. Nanta says Jessica Jones would probably never start in Alter Ego. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, true. Yeah. Because Jessica Jones would probably always use her incognito to go back up to hero form. I mean, despite that, I mean, it's fine. Like if you play this card, right? If you have the Colin Favors in play already, okay, then and you're playing a 4-player account, you may say, hey guys, I have Maria in my deck, so I'm gonna stay down in Alter Ego this turn, you know? So you can plan around that for sure. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's great with the Spider-Man Justice Ally. That's super cool. Squirrel Girl can call on her little helpers to clear off the last threat off multiple schemes by hosting a strategy session. Okay, so we've already seen this card right here, strategy session. Just can let any player search your deck for a player side scheme or remove some threat off one that's already in play, such as, we got another Justice player side scheme here, run to the ground. Or like the art with Spider-Man and Daredevil. Oh, that's super cool. 0 cost, 4 per player threat, run them to the ground. Victory 0. When defeated, resolve each of the following. You skip the next villain phase. Each of the following. Skip the next villain. Hold up. What? Oh, but you do each player 1 phase on encounter card immediately. Okay. Villain cannot take damage. Oh, okay. Until the next unskip villain phase. Okay, they had to clarify that. Okay. So what does this do? Okay. What does this do? Basically, all it does is that the villain does not add initial threat to the main scheme, and the villain does not activate against you, and minions do not activate against you. Because you still get an encounter card for each player. So, like, you still have to do that last step of the villain phase, right? You skip the villain phase except for that last part. Like, basically, it's like what it does. And then, so you basically take another turn. You get the encounter card, but you cannot attack or you cannot do damage to the villain. So, yeah. This is a fine card. I think it's a great card. I think it's strong. I think it's usable. I think it's helpful for like dire situations. And I think that it doesn't break the game. Yeah. I think that with Jessica Jones, though, it may be very powerful. It may be even better because she doesn't need to do damage to the villain, right? So whenever she plays a card like this, she's still advancing on defeating the villain because it's a side scheme for the alias investigations. So I think it's really good for Jessica Jones. Aaron Stark, welcome to the chat. Late to the party. Colin in favors best card for Jessica Jones. I don't know, actually. We don't. I will go over her best card. Sorry, guys. I got cat hair everywhere now. I will go over Jessica Jones more after we go over the Justice cards here. But yeah, we'll figure out what's the best card for her. Yeah, because I'm not sure right now. Let me see. Class skip a turn, but against the game. Yeah, time warp. If you're a Falcon, you just skip the whole turn. Yeah. So like thing like I don't like that thing with Falcon because like you have to get an encounter card at some point, right? Aerial Recon still gets you an encounter card at another point in time. So it's like, yes, you can plan it to skip the turn, but it's not like for free. You know, you still have to get the encounter card at some point, you know. Her Scusset says Colin Favors is pretty wild. Yeah. I think it's a really good card. Okay, let's go run to the ground. Okay. And then piecing all together. Okay, so that's the Jessica Jones side scheme that we already looked at. Don't forget that defeating a player's side scheme still counts as adding evidence counters to its investigations. Yeah. Okay. All right. And then on the topic of player side schemes, defend our city comes with a new prerequisite keyword. What? Which dictates either the form your identity must be in or a trait your identity must have to be able to play it. What? Prerequisite defender. What does that mean? Which dictates either the form your identity must be in or a trait you must have to play it. So isn't it just basically play only if you have the defender trait? I don't understand why we have a keyword for that. Must be in order to play it. So Cable can still put this into play, right? With his Soldier X. You can still put this into play. So I don't understand. Prerequisite is the exact same thing as what we've already seen with like you can only play this card if blank, right? So Quinn Care is now a prerequisite Avenger instead of play only if you have the Avenger trait. I don't really see a point to that. I don't know why we have to do a new keyword. Yeah, okay, I'm not sure. Okay. All right. But yeah, okay. So you only play this card if you have the Defender trait. Okay. So only hero form for Jessica Jones and Daredevil. Hinder 1 per player. Oh, hinder on a side scheme. That's interesting. So that's chaos per player. So he plays in True Soul, it's gonna be 4 threat. And then if you play this in 4 players, it's gonna be 7 threat. Okay, okay. All right. When defeated, each player may search their deck and discard pile for a team up card add to their hand. Until the end of the phase, reduce the cost to play each team up card by 1. I like this card a lot. I like that it's a lot better in multiplayer, so it scales less in multiplayer for that. Like the hinder 1, because it's all the defenders teaming up. So instead of being like 3 per player threat, which is 12 threat in multiplayer, it's now 7 threat in 4 player, you know? Yeah, this card's, I think, not that good for True Solo. Not that good for True Solo because it's 4 threat. And then like you get team a card for True Solo, it's not as good. But team a card is in multiplayer. If you have 4 defenders, well, we're all getting team a card that we can all play, which is like very good. You guys say the prerequisite word is good. It cleans up the text, simplifying language lightly. Yeah, I get that. I just feel like now there's an inconsistency in the game. You know, like all the old cards that say like even in the last wave, Hercules came with Quinn Carrier, right? Yeah. So we got a Quinn Carrier reprint in the last wave, and it didn't have prerequisite. So now, like, if a new player sees this and they see like play only if you have the Avenger trait, they're like, okay, maybe this is different than that. You know. I think if we start with this, I wouldn't mind it as much, but I just feel like I don't know. Jasper says, I hope other factions get a card like this. Yeah, for team cards, that would be interesting for sure. Blue Nathan says prerequisite keyword potentially gives extra room for 1 extra line of text. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I feel like they can put the play only if in the same line, right? Okay, let's check out the text here, guys. I feel like it's not that. I feel like it's not that different, especially on the player side schemes text. Okay, let's do what's the player side scheme? The Avenger one. Evaluate threat. Sorry, not evacuate. All right. Sorry, guys. It's not on RCDB yet, so we gotta look up Hall of Heroes here. Civil War. Hercules. Okay, here we go. Okay, you know what? Okay, yes, it's saving a lot more space. Okay, yeah. I can see this is like 2 lines of text. So like now you don't have to say you don't have to say this. So you can just say prerequisite Avenger or Shield, I guess. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, I'm not like super against it. I just like don't really like it, I guess. It helps with consistency, and that's one of the big reasons folks don't use them. The discount keyword was similar in that they're just save text. I think the discount keyword is a lot more intuitive, I guess, if that makes sense. Because like, what if someone sees a card like and they're like prerequisite? Can I only thwart this out if I have the defender trait? Like you know what I mean? Like you could have other. Can I cheat this into play if I don't have the defender trait? You know what I mean? Because like we know that with the ruling with the put into play, you can put stuff into play without having this prerequisite. You know what I mean? So it's like maybe that might be different. And like, yeah, I don't know. It's not a big deal for sure though. Okay. Let's continue here. In Defender City's case, you can only play if your hero has Defender trait. When it's defeated, each player can search your deck for team a card, and you get a discount, which is great. Naturally, this applies to just his own team a card. Oh, here we go. With Luke Cage, which can both heal her and Luke Cage and keep their Thor momentum going. So thwarting and healing. Unbreakable Bond. 1 cost event. Okay, cool art here. Team up Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Max 1 per deck. Hero action Thor. Remove 3 threat from a scheme. Heal a total of 3 damage among Jessica Jones and Luke Cage. Okay, this is a very good Thorning event. Very solid. Very good card. You need to have them both in play, but I think it's not hard for Jessica Jones because Luke Cage has Tufts, the ally. And if you're doing both of them, I mean, this is a solid card. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely want this card with Jessica Jones to give her an extra Thor event, especially if you're pairing her with Luke Cage. So, yeah, super solid team of card here. Nothing like crazy, right? Just super simple. It's just getting good healing, which is like great. And it's very cheap. All the team of cards are very cheap because you need them both in play. But yeah, so solid team of card. Nothing like crazy, you know. Speaking of momentum, the new Joys of Life event can ready just about anyone at the table thanks to the alliance keyword. Oh, allowing any player to help pay for their costs. Okay, let's see what this is. Joys of Life, 0 cost event alliance. Choose exhaust a civilian alter ego to ready up a hero or ally. Exhaust hero ally ready a civilian alter. Oh, I really like this card. This card is so cool. This card is so cool, guys. This is so cool because we finally get stuff off the civilian trait. That's like advantageous. You can exhaust a hero or ally to rep a civilian alter ego. This card is great. I would. Oh man, this is an auto include for Jessica Jones. 3 copies, right? Because Champion Mail says we got civilian support. Yeah, and this. The thing is, this card is so good for Jessica Jones because it's essentially what's that card called? Earth's Mightiest Heroes, right? Let's pull that up. Earth's Mightiest Heroes. But only for Jessica Jones. It's not the same as so Earth's Mightiest Heroes. I think it's for most heroes. Yeah, because I think most of the time the ready in hero form is like better, right? But so for this one you have to exhaust an adventure character. So you usually do an ally to rep another to ready like your identity, right? Joys of Life. The second effect is the one I really like. You can exhaust a hero or any ally, does not have to be civilian ally, to ready a civilian alter ego. Jessica Jones can flip down to alter ego every single turn. So it's essentially a ready for her in alter ego. So you can exhaust a heal, or you can just flip back up and throw it again for 3. So the civilian trait for her is crazy. This is like her best aspect card. That's your like or basic card, I mean, right? This is no matter what aspect you're playing with Jessica Jones, you probably always include this card. Because all you gotta do is exhaust an ally. You just keep an ally out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be any traded ally. Just play Luke Cage or like whatever, like, you know, ally, like a cheap ally. Just have him always in play. And you always have a target for this to give Jessica Jones more ready, which is very good. Now she has another 0 cost ready. Exactly. Yeah. And each time she activates, she gets a evidence counter. So she wants the readies more than everyone else. So yeah, very good. Her son is Miles also has a free flip to alter ego. Not as consistent. Yeah, but he would like this card. Yeah, Miles would like this card as well. It doesn't combo with his ready though. What's the card called? Double life. Because double life, whenever you play it, you ready up with it if you pay for it with the physical kicker anyways. So like, you don't need the ready on top of that. But Miles is a cool civilian character that you can use. So I think the second effect is better. The first one is you can exhaust yourself like a civilian alter ego to ready up a hero or ally. So like, yeah, that one's like, it's fine. Like, it's cool that I like the alliance part of it, right? So like, if you're playing this in multiplayer, you play this card. I'm assuming Luke Cage is a civilian. I'm not sure. If Luke Cage is a civilian, you can exhaust him to ready up Jessica Jones and vice versa. So you can ready up your friend, which I think is cool. But you get more value from exhausting an ally to give your hero another activation, especially if your hero has 3 thwart and gets an edit counter whenever they thwart. So especially for Jessica Jones, like this card is tailor made for her. Champion Mel says more ways not to exhaust Wonder Man. This is a energy resource, right? It is. Yeah. Yeah. Good shout out. This is a great card for Wonder Man too, and you can tuck it too. Yeah. Narantler says, wait. Does that mean Starla could rack up encounter cards, but only have to deal with one and skip all the others that have been dealt? What do you mean by that? Oh, you mean with the player side scheme with Unbreakable Bond? No, sorry. Run to the ground. Star-Lord, if you play this card, you you get down in encounter card and you take another turn. Yeah, but the thing is, like, you don't get to do damage to the villain. Yeah. So it's like pros and cons for Starlo. Like if you need like a break and more throwing and bigger hands with like Starlo's helmet and all of that, then like it's good. But Starlo usually wants extra encounter card to actually like go for the kill, and this won't let you do that. You know. Blade's a nice cheap ally that you don't need to activate to keep out there for Joys of Life. Yeah, Blade's a great ally for that. Just like how he's a great ally for Ursa, Mightiest Heroes. Okay, so yeah, this is a great card. All include Jessica Jones in every deck, I think, in every aspect because it's a basic card. So yeah, super good there. I love this card for multiplayer too. Okay. Okay. Even if you choose to exhaust her, a grapnel launcher can let her still contribute some thwarting. What? What is this? 2-cost upgrade. Oh, we got an upgrade for Justice. Okay, that might be cool. Grapnel launcher. It's item restricted. Hero action, discard this card. Make a basic thwart without exhausting. What? Discard this card. Make a basic thwart. Okay. Okay. So it doesn't say in play. But you can make a big thwart without exhausting. For a thwart, your hero gets +1 thwart and ignores the patrol in crisis. It's okay. It's okay. It's good for a clutch situation if you get exhausted. Like it's useful to have like in play, but I feel like I don't think I'll run this card that often. I think there's definitely a use for it. Okay, there's definitely a use for it. I like the theme of it. With the Grapnel launcher, you can jump past like minions and stuff to like thwart past patrol and crisis. I like the theme of it. I think. No, wait, no. I'm tripping. This is a great card. This is a great card for some heroes. I'll say that. Yeah, this is a great card for Jessica Jones. Because for Jessica Jones, so what I'm thinking about, like, obviously, I think the best use for it is playing it down and saving it for a future turn when you really desperately need thwarting and what if you got exhausted already, right? So this is perfect for that. But it's actually better than I thought because it's better than I thought because it's 2 costs and essentially you are thwarting for +1 from your thwart stat. So you're playing Jessica Jones. It's 2 costs to remove 4 threat. If you want to use it the turn you play it, right? So 2 costs for 4 is not bad. For heroes with 2 thwarting, it's 2 for 3. But with that ability to bypass patrol and crisis and to use it on demand on a future turn, I think it's worth it. If your hero only has 1 thwart and you play this and you're only thwarting for 2, it's not that good. But if you build your thwart stat, then it gets better. So yeah, Arg says pretty great when she got some plus thwart. Yeah, if you build your thwart stat, it's gonna be a lot better. Yeah. Basically an on-demand ready and it triggers basic thwart. Sure. Yeah. Oh yeah, all the basic thwart stuff works off of that. There's also trigger Jessica Jones basic thwart, right? Because she's using a basic power. So she gets an evidence counter. Yeah. So this is best. I've been saying this like all day. This is the best card for Jessica Jones. Like it's better for Jessica Jones than for anyone else because she can play this as if it's an event. This is essentially an event for Justice, right? So it's 2 costs. You just play it down and you basic thwart for 4, right? Because you get +1 to your 3 thwart. So if you have a hero that has already 3 thwart inherently, this is like really good. And then you can just save it on a table. It's restricted though, so you only have 2 restricted cards. So it takes up a slot for you. But Jessica Jones is gonna love this card. Yeah, this card is like for Jessica Jones, it's very, very good because then you can just bypass patrol and crisis. For other heroes, it's not as good. Jessica Jones is like I think it's an auto include for Justice for her actually. I think it's an auto include for Justice Jessica Jones because yeah, it's basically for Justice, but always better. It's always better than for Justice. So yeah. It's an upgrade that sits around. Yeah, if you get exhausted, you can pop this and breakthrough and you're ready to go again. Yeah. It also triggers a breakthrough too. So yeah, this is a really good card. Better for Jessica Jones, but if you have less thorn, like for Spider-Man, he probably does not care about this card. Okay, so got my launcher. Finally, though Jess can end up pretty much any player phase in hero form if you wanted to. Whenever you do enter the villain phase in Alter Ego, you can still punch the bad guys. Oh, I'm hoping this is a cool card. Okay, hopefully this will do like some Justice archetype stuff. When you do enter the villain phase in Alter Ego, you can still punch the bad guys for scheme with some skill entrapment. With all these tools in her belt. Okay, let's see what this is. 1 cost upgrade. Please don't discard. 1 cost upgrade entrapment. Prep card, max 1 per player. Okay. As an alter ego response, it's an attack. After the villain schemes, you change the hero form. You discard the card. I hate that. Do you damage the villain equals to the amount of threat placed on a scheme? It's not bad. It's a fine card. Okay, here's what I wanted. I feel like all these cool Justice archetype cards that we've gotten, like in Agents of Shield 2, they all discard. It's like these upgrades are all discard. I feel like it doesn't affect the game enough with that. Like, am I gonna play a deck that revolves around this? I can play a deck where I include it and it's like good, but I'm never gonna play a deck that focuses around this card because the villain is still adding threat. It's just a way to do more damage. It's like a big damaging card. Yeah, like it's a fine card. I think that it's great. Hero Skeleton says Justice ready for fight. Not even close, dude. No, not in my opinion. I feel like it's not even close because this is a response. I need to interrupt, right? Because you still add all the threat and then change your form. So you allow the scheme and then you change up, right? I think it's fun for the theme like entrapment, but yeah, the damage can be very high as well, which is like good, but it's not really doing anything for the justice aspect. It's just a card that has niche uses, I guess, you know? Because like, how often do you want to let the villain do their full scheme too? Is another thing, right? You need to let them actually do the full scheme. And if they pull in advance, they might win the game, right? So like, imagine you're facing Rhino, right? You're an alter ego, you flip down. Rhino schemes. You play this, he still adds like 3 threat to the main scheme. You play this card, you flip it to hero form, he pulls in advance, and then he still schemes you out. So it's like that's not changing the game for me. That's just helping me do some more damage. Unlock says, I'm glad you're excited about this review because I definitely am, but I think you might be overreacting how strong she is. Okay, I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, I think from what I just don't know because okay, here's my thoughts on Jessica. Let's finish the Justice cards here, and then we'll go back to Jessica Jones. Ninetale says these are all prep cards. We just need a card to tutor or recur them. Yeah, I don't know if we'll get that through an aspect card though, you know. But even if we recur this, I'd rather recur like whatever we get to recur, it'll recur right for a fight, and that'll be way better than recurring this, you know. And just as you want the door to go through, it wouldn't make sense as interrupt. What I want for justice is I want ready for a fight for justice. I want a way to mitigate threat in alter ego. Anything to mitigate threat, like counterintelligence is also like that's. I feel like this is just underdeveloped in justice. Counter intelligence. So an interrupt that can trigger from alter ego when any threat we place on a scheme. You can discard this card, place to prevent 3 of that threat. Right. This is what I want. I want something like not my responsibility. I don't like the my responsibility because it would be used in hero form. This is an alter ego or hero interrupt, and you can take it as damage instead. That's what I want for justice. I want anything to mitigate threat. It doesn't have to be this powerful, but mitigating threat in alter ego, I think there's just not enough. There's only exactly confuse is the only way to do that, but confuse is not always reliable. Against a hard difficulties where all the villains have steady, and then some villains have star and gain access to star. Like Magneto has his helmet, right? If he pulls the helmet on you and he gets confused gets in advance after that, he'll still scheme. So like, yes, I get that confused does that, but that's why I think there are times that ready for fight is better than a confused status because confused is not reliable. Yeah, confused is the least unreliable way to flip down to alter ego. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's I don't know. That's just my thoughts. I just want something more. Like that's not a confuse. Arc says like combined with stuff like informant. Yeah, I don't like informant either because it's like I just wish that there was something else. I'm thinking multiplayer mainly. You flip from the first door. Then if you're not first, the villain still attacks you. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, multiplayer, right? So if you're doing 2 players, you're both in alter ego. Villain schemes against the first player, and then you can change the hero form and they'll attack you. Yeah, so I mean in multiplayer it's not bad. It's definitely not bad in multiplayer. Yeah. Yeah, it's better in multiplayer, okay? It's better. But then you need both players to be an alter ego to like I don't know. Yeah, I just wish that we got ready for fight and justice. It's like that's just what I really want. Iron Rider says, I think that's just too strong for Justice. You essentially be asking Justice to be able to do everything. No, like the only thing that I want Justice to do is have the best threat mitigation. Because Justice does it have the worst damage? I think Protection has better damage than Justice. Yeah, I think at this point in the game, Protection has better damage than Justice. Protection has the most reliable way to flip down to Artigo with Ready for Fight. Justice does not. Confused is not the most reliable way to flip down because the villain can gain steady or stalwart, or they might already have stalwart, you know? So, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I think doesn't Kingpin have stalwart or something like that on his first stage? Let's see. Let me close some of these tabs here. Let's see. Yeah. So, like, when you start off Kingpin here, he's going to have stalwart. So, like, he's scheming super high with all this, like, scheming shenanigans, right? When he attacks you, he schemes instead. Oh, it doesn't matter because he would scheme instead. So with Ready for Fight, it was still proc a scheme. But, like, I'm thinking if you have threat mitigation, like counterintelligence, you can mitigate the threat. I want to mitigate his threat. You know what I mean? And that will give Justice a 1-up on protection on threat mitigation. So, Iron Stark says entrapment is really niche. Yeah, I guess in Soul you could let the villain scheme, but then it lets you flip the hero form to stop min scheming and attack instead. Yeah. I mean, I agree. It's not the most versatile card. It's not terrible though. Does Justice consistently have damage outside of float like a butterfly build? I don't think Justice has a consistent like source of damage there. Like Protection's already gotten so many cool stuff with like building out your defense stat and using that to do damage. And you also got defending and doing damage on top of that with like Retaliate. And you got the Excelsior to do damage each time you defend, right? I think Protection beats Justice in damage. And I think it beats Justice in reliability to flip down against any scenario. Yeah, I just want Justice to have just that one thing, just the best threat mitigation in the game. You can make the argument that pool aspect has better threat mitigation with just one copy of Not My Responsibility. So, yeah. All right, guys. Okay, so that's it with the Justice cards here. I'm a little bit disappointed in the Justice cards. I think we've gotten strong cards, like Squirrel Girl is really strong. I think that we've seen really powerful Justice cards, but no new archetype or way to play Justice, right? Like, I feel like when you're playing a Justice deck, you're just kind of like doing Justice things still. You're just like, okay, I have a lot of extra thwarting and synergies with thwarting. I don't really have anything else on top of that, right? I'm playing it feels like a generic Justice deck, which is still good, but at this point in the game, I want something else for Justice to do. And if you're playing Protection, you can be like, oh, do I want to ready up a lot? Do I want to like Voltron allies with Energy Shield? Do I want to perfect defense? With aggressions, like, do I want to play with minions? Do I want to play with like weapon exhaust stuff? And Justice is just kind of bland right now. So I'm a little bit disappointed in that, but I liked all the cards. So I think these are all cool cards for Justice. I think that they're very unique design cards all on their own. I just wish that there was more. I just want a new archetype, right? Like what we're talking about with the Battlefield Benevolence, right? Like if Justice had a benefit for healing. Battlefield Benevolence. And we know this is the last Justice pack in for this year. Sorry guys. Here, but says, hero action, hew 2 damage from enemy, confuse enemy. Maybe Justice could be like you can hew enemies and get other effects. I'll have an upgrade that synergizes with that. I think that would be like cool. But Skeleton says, I don't know, entrapment is a new archetype for Justice for sure. Flipping every turn is gonna be so strong. I don't see it that way. I just don't. Yeah, I can't. I'm trying to imagine that way. Like, okay, let's say you're playing 2 players, okay? Both players flip down to Alter Ego. Yes, you can prevent one scheme on you, but the villain will still attack you, right? But if you go first, if you're the first player, the villain schemes on you first. So they'll get their scheme off. Then you change it to hero form. So it doesn't even matter. You have to be the last player to get the full effect out of this card. You know what I mean? And then in true solo, the villain just adds threat as normal. And how is it an archetype if you're just doing damage to the villain? after they scheme, right? The villain schemes and you do damage for a 1 cost upgrade, right? That's what it does in True Soul. That's all it does. It's just another way to do damage. Which, and I feel like that's why I'm not, even though I consider full like a butterfly an archetype, because you build off of Confuse and for doing more damage, it's probably my least run archetype from all the aspects, because it's just doing more damage. It's not anything else for the aspect. No, the flip is the flip is not good. The flip is not good if it's like this, right? Because so it's good for Peter Parker because he gets to draw a card whenever you flip to hero form and with Spider Sense, right? But like if you're playing a hero, and most heroes have this, like they have like an alter ego, if they have an alter ego action that gets you a resource or like helps you do something, you can't trigger that anymore if you flip up to hero form already, unless you flip back down again, right? So like you can't flip down again and again and again, because this will always place threat on the main scheme. It's always placing threat. You can't do this three turns in a row, because that means you're just allowing the villain to scheme against you 3 turns in a row. And if they get an advance on top of that, they're scheming even more, right? This is essentially like they're just scheming so much. So I mean, I get with She-Hulk, you can do more. She has more like stuff with that, but like the mitigation is just 1 threat, from alter ego. So it's like I don't know. It's still I don't know. It's the flip is I don't know. I don't like the flip there, because you're allowing all the threat on. You're not mitigating any threat, and you're not flipping down safely. You're flipping down dangerously, right? Like just think about my Rhino situation that I was explaining, right? If you're facing Rhino with the entrapment here, okay, he has 7 threat to win the game. You add 1 threat, it goes to 1 out of 7. You flip down to alter ego, or you flip down. So you start off the game, the turn in alter ego, the villain phase in alter ego. Sorry, villain phase in alter ego. You have entrapment on the table. Okay, Rhino adds 1 threat to the scheme. Then he schemes with the base of 1. He gets a boost of 2. So now he has 4 threat on the scheme. Then you trigger this. You do 3 damage back. You punch 3 damage on him, and now you're in hero form. He pulls an advance. He schemes for 3, and then you lose the game. That can happen on so many different villains. That can happen on almost every villain that has only 1 villain stage. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I like, yeah, I'm not a fan of this card. Okay, that's enough for Justice cards. Let's talk about Jessica Jones then. Okay, so all right, final thoughts for Jessica Jones, guys. What is the poll here? You guys said 65% of you guys love that she's really powerful. 27% are neutral, 8% hate. Okay. I'm in the minority for sure then, because I'm not sure if she's that powerful, but I mean, I'm not sure if I like that, but we don't know if she's going to be that strong. So, strongest card here. That's what you guys are talking about. So, I think Curtis mentioned that Colin Favors is the best Jessica Jones card. What is the best Jessica Jones card in y'all's opinion? This card's pretty good. Remove 2 evidence counters. I think this is for sure in contention of the best card. I think Luke Cage is not the best card. He's strong for sure. This is not the best card because it's only for Nolly minions, and it's like one minion per round, right? Because you have to exhaust this card. They're all good cards though. This card, I mean, it's just damage at the end of the day, so it's not the best card. This is great for protection. I don't think it's the best card though. It's the best card if you're playing her in protection, defending a lot. Stakeout's pretty good. I think this is in contention. So stakeout. We got so either Colin Favors, stakeout. Snooping around. That one's pretty good. Breakthrough is pretty good. Evidence counter splits on is. Yeah, this card is in contention. And circumstantial evidence is not it. Okay. All right. So we're gonna go with breakthrough. Okay, let's start the poll here first. Let's start the poll. Do the poll here, guys. What is Jessica Jones' best card that we've seen? Best Jess card. So we got breakthrough. We got snooping around. I think these are the top 4 because I only have 4 options here in the poll. We got stakeout. And we got Colin Favors. I'll put in parentheses what each one is. So ally, upgrade, thwart, ready. Okay. All right. So we started the poll here. Yeah. So I think okay. So let's go over the cards. The 4 cards I think are the best Jessica Jones cards. So breakthrough. It's a zero cost ready. You only ready after you place a counter on Alias Investigations, but she does it every turn anyway. So she's doing it no matter what. And you shuffle it back into your deck. So like you're probably getting a future turn. So it's like you don't have one card, but you might, it'll feel like you have more than one copy in the deck, right? It feels like you have 2 or 3. So breakthrough, that's in contention. We've got snooping around. That's her third event. Zero cost to take off 4 threats is very good, and you get 2 evidence counters, but you may have to get them in your side scheme. So it's probably not going to be this one, but yeah, pretty cool card. If you can scry the encounter deck, I mean, it's 0 for 4 and 2 counters. It's pretty nice. Then we got stakeout, which is like mass thwarting, especially in multiplayer, right? Like a 12 threat side scheme. You put it on a side scheme. When any character thwarts a scheme, including ally or another player, the thwart removes 2 additional threat. So, like, let's say you have 3 allies and they all have 1 thwart. If you attach stakeout to a side scheme, each ally is thwarting for 3, 3, 3. That's insane. Like, yeah, that's just like super burst thwarting. And you place upgrade on a table, you just keep it in play. And you can wait for the side scheme to come out before you trigger the action to attach to a side scheme. So it's high tempo because you play it immediately and you can attach immediately. And it's good build out. You play it and you wait for a bad side scheme to come out that you want to trigger this on. So crazy good card. And then Calling Favors, amazing card here. 1 cost support. R2 action, but you can use that every single turn because she flips down for free every single turn. Remove 2 counters from Alias Investigations. So there is a cost there. And exhaust this card. Search your deck for an ally. Play it as if you're in your hand, reducing its cost by 2, including any allies that have like play only in hand effects like Peter Parker Spider-Man for the Just Ally. Great card here. So they're all really good. Okay. Curtis says, I like calling in favors to pull Professor X, Psylocke, Dazzle to get confused on a man, and then allowing that flip down. I don't. So for sure, she can get that free flip, but remember, she can always flip back up to hero form when she flips down with incognito mode. So she doesn't need that confused, but yes, for another hero, this would go crazy with Professor X. For Jessica Jones, like, she doesn't need as much, you know? Nariano says, I like to see a secret identity reviewed card where the villain attacks you in alter ego instead of thwarting. Attacks you? Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool if the villain attacks you in alter ego instead of them scheming. That is the archetype that I would be down for. Heroic says, I forgot about how cracked Breakthrough was. Yeah, Breakthrough is crazy, guys. Breakthrough is crazy. Shane says, calling in favors is effectively 3 ER per turn by spending 2 counters, considering you get 1 auto from a single base activation plus any others. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like you don't want to use it every single turn because it's like making you lose all your counters. But like to get an ally out, it's pretty good, you know? It's like very high tempo. Beowulf says, I didn't understand stakeout. Okay, let's go over stakeout again. Okay, so stakeout, it's a 0 cost upgrade. You can just play on the table. Okay, so you play it on your table. Okay. Then as an action at any point in the player phase, if this card is in your play area, so if it's not already attached to another side scheme, you can attach it to a non-permanent encounter side scheme. So let's say a side scheme comes out, right, in encounter phase. Next player phase, you can attach stakeout, move it to the side scheme. Or if there's already a side scheme in play, you can play stakeout and just move it and attach it to the side scheme. Okay. Then when any character, an ally or another player thwarts this scheme, you do 2 additional threat with that thwart. So whenever Jessica Jones thwarts that scheme now, instead of thwarting for 3, she'll thwart for 5. When an ally thwarts a scheme, instead of thwarting for 1 or whatever their stat is, they thwart for 3. When any hero thwarts a scheme, they also do additional thwarting. So any additional thwarting that you do is enhanced by 2. So you're just like doing tons of thwarting on it. So it'll kill any side scheme in multiplayer, like for sure. So yeah, you can also attach this non-permanent. No, it has to be an encounter card side scheme, so you cannot do it on a player side scheme, unfortunately, or else it'll be way more powerful. Skeleton says, I don't know if you realize what I was saying with Clea. Oh yeah, I don't think I did. She is an infinite recurable chump block every single turn. An infinite. Oh, I see what you mean. Okay, gotcha. Because calling favors only works with allies in your deck. Clea, when she's defeated, she'll go back into her deck with her interrupt. So yeah, gotcha. Yeah. So you can keep on recurring her. Let me pull up Clea for chat to see. So if you're playing Jessica Jones in protection, you can infinitely chump out with Clea because interrupt when she's defeated, she goes back into her deck. So she'll just keep on going back into her deck. I wondered. No, there's not. I'm wondering if there's some sort of like combo you can do with Clea and Breakthrough to keep them constantly in your deck, and you keep your hand size at like 5, so you never deck out, and you have like an Avengers Mansion on the table, so you're always drawing one of them, I guess. No, there's no way to do that because like you may draw Clea, right? You can't guarantee you're drawing Breakthrough. So if you draw Clea, you can't really do anything. Yeah, because you need. Yeah. All right, it's not gonna work like that. Keep in mind that calling favors is only from the deck, so it's more difficult to spam and true. Yeah. Curtis says I missed from the deck. Yeah. So I think that balances out a little bit more. Okay, let's see what you guys want. Oh, you guys voted for calling favors. Okay, I think calling favors is very high tempo and can save you from a bad situation for sure. I think it's a really good card, to be honest. I think even though you don't use calling favors every single turn, the turn that you do use it is very good. And you are able to use it every single turn if you want to, because she'll have enough evidence counters. So just whenever you want to ally, you just use it. So I think I would agree it's the best card. I think Breakthrough is close though. You guys voted 47% for calling favors, 33% for Breakthrough. Breakthrough is more usable. It's more usable. Calling favors is like widely changing the entire game, because one ally for a cost reduction of 2 from your deck can like change a like terrible turn into a good turn, you know? So I didn't vote. I might have voted Breakthrough. The poll is still going, so why you guys didn't vote for Stakeout? It's powerful. Yes, Stakeout's also a great card. Stakeout could help Hercules complete Embody Pathos. No way. Don't tell me it does that. Yeah, because Embody Pathos is an encounter side scheme. When a character thwarts it, only Hercules can thwart it. The thwart removes 2 additional threat. Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. I like that. I think the labor is considered an encounter card actually, because it has a an orange back. So I think that one is actually, because it's not a player side scheme, you know. I think that this prevents player side schemes, but I think it is actually an encounter side scheme. So Jessica Jones Hercules combo, but the thing is like it's still not like amazing, because it's like, what if Embodied Pathos is your last labor? Like if it's your last labor, Hercules already has great thwarting with 2 gifts in play, you know. So he doesn't necessarily need this as much, you know. But I mean, obviously it helps if it's the first labor, that's like super good. But yeah, I mean it's good. It's not like crazy. Heroic says calling favors needs to be built around. Breakthrough is always powerful. That's I think I agree that breakthrough is always good. This is always good. For calling favors, you don't have to build around it, because for Jessica Jones, the way that her kit works, if you draw calling favors, okay, you can, if you're in hero form, you flip down to alter ego, you play it for 1 cost, then summon an ally for 1 ER cheaper than playing this card. So you summon Professor X now, paying 1 more resource because he's reduced by 2. For example, let's not do Professor X. Let's say like Nick Fury, okay? You call in Nick Fury from your deck, you pay 2 costs for him. So he's normally 5 ER, right? Because he's normally 5 ER. You're now paying 1, 2 for this card and 2 more. So it's now 4 ER for Nick Fury. And you flip back up to hero form with incognito mode. So now you just got a Nick Fury, and you don't need to build around calling favors. You just do whatever allies you want. You know what I mean? Heroic says you need to put allies in your deck. That's like you need to have allies in your deck, but it's like you're probably gonna have an ally in your deck, you know, like you're probably gonna have a good ally. And like Luke Cage is always gonna be in your deck, so you can always call in Luke as well. But the thing is, like, calling favors is better at a future turn when you already have it in play, because now you're not paying the 2 ER for it. So like I agree with you to an extent of like you have to have an ally, but like I don't know. Heroic says you're gonna want a lot of allies. I don't think you necessarily want a lot of allies, because I'm not gonna be spamming this, I think, because I don't want to take off all my counters every single turn. Even though I think it's easy to refill 2 counters every single turn, I want to build on my counters so I can like win the game. You know what I mean? So I think I use like, you know, for like a turn where I'm like, oh crap, I can't let the villain scheme or else I might lose. Oh crap, if they attack me, I might die because like I'm at low health. Like what do? I really need a chump block. I look at my hand, I have no allies in hand. Then I call in a favor. That's a perfect time. And it's on demand. You know what I mean? So I think that's where it's the best. But I could definitely see Breakthrough being better, to be honest. Like, I think before you guys were chatting, I think I was thinking that Breakthrough was the best one, but I think I'm now more swayed for Calling Favors, but I might swap again. I think you can make the case for both of them. The poll is very close here. Calling Favors is 45%, Breakthrough is 30%. Yeah, super duper close. Baywell says, hot take on my end. I'd rather play Jessica Jones than Daredevil. She's more fun, I think. I think I like Jessica Jones more for multiplayer. I'm a little bit worried about her scaling for true solo. I think Daredevil does look really fun, to be honest. I like Daredevil's kit. Yeah, hopefully I'm wrong with Jessica Jones being like, I don't know, one of the strongest heroes in the game. You guys agree with me though. Like 78% of you guys voted S tier for Jessica Jones. So I think it's not a hot take to say that she's gonna be one of the strongest heroes. And I just like the design a lot. Like I always love this alter ego type stuff with a hero like this. But the fact that she has entirely free form flipping with this ability, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, it's really, really good. Um, I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing some things too, right? Because obviously, if you're flipping down to alter ego and flipping right back up, you draw back up to your hand size of 5. So you never get the 6 card hand size if you're always ending in hero form. So like that's like some balancing for her, right? So like, yeah, I just if she is properly balanced, then I think I would say that I like her kit more too. Yeah. I think if she's not S tier, then I like her kit more. I just feel like, especially for a hero like Cable, there are so many things that you can do with side schemes that you don't know until you actually play the hero. You know what I mean? Like, so when we actually play her, if we can do some crazy side scheme shenanigans with her 3 thwarting, she might be crazy. And like, if she just abused the game even more than Cable, I don't know how much I will enjoy playing. I think I'll still like her though, to be honest, because I just love the flipping and the thwarting stuff. So I think no matter what, I'm gonna enjoy her. I don't know if I like her more in Daredevil. Um, yeah, I think that's where it's like, okay, I don't know. But yeah, I mean, she looks great. She looks like a really fun hero. She's very well designed no matter what. I think that she just might be overtuned. You know, like like a bunch of you guys had like great suggestions here for the action here. If this says incognito mode action, you know, discard a discard one evidence counter and then change the hero form. That would just be like huge for her. You know, that would just make her a lot more balanced. You know, Skeleton says not a hard take. Yeah. Adam Hope says calling in favors can be used every turn. Yeah, like it can be used every single turn. I don't think I want to because I'm setting back the evidence counts by 2 every single turn if I'm doing that. And if I'm building like 2 or 3 a turn, I'm building that way slower. And that's my win condition. So it's like you can almost see it as like healing the villain by 2 every single time. You know, like do I want to be healing the villain by 2 every single turn? No. Like I don't mind it, right? Battlefield benevolence. I think it's fine to do when I need it, right? It's fine to call in a favor when I need it, but I don't want to be doing every single turn, right? Um, Baywell says, I don't think she'll be bad in solo. I think she'll lean a lot into aggression, but not. No. So, like, I think she's going to be super, too powerful in True Solo. I think that she breaks the game in True Solo. I think that's my point for True Solo. Baywell says, we haven't seen any research generators for defenders. We have not. And honestly, we might get one for the basic aspect or for basic cards because we haven't seen, like, Daredevil does not have a research generator in kit. Echo has one, but hers is like not very, how do you say? It's not what's the card I'm looking for? Or what's the word I'm looking for? Echoes is not universal. So maybe like they're not gonna give each and we haven't seen one for Jessica Jones here, you know what I mean? So maybe the defenders won't have economy like Civil War heroes, and they'll have some sort of like research generator that they can all use in as a basic card. Uh Skeleton says, would be crazy if we got a defenders player side scheme that turns into the research generator. Would be great with Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Yeah. Yeah, that would be cool. I mean, at the same time, you can just build support, you know what I mean? If you just run build support, that will get their economy card out, you know? But yeah, that'd be cool. I don't know how they will make that. How is it? Because like it would be like flip side, or maybe it would just be a linked card, right? So it's like a player side scheme, and then it's a set aside generator linked. Yeah, gotcha. Yeah. Bill says they can only play Helicarrier or Cheat Concur. Yeah. Currently they can. But we'll see if they get a universal defender type of card like the X-Jet and Quinn Carrier, because that would be cool for sure. All right, guys. I think that's basically all I have to say for Jessica Jones. I don't really have too much more. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about for Jessica Jones? But yeah, that man, she is crazy. Reddit Rumble stocks are through the roof. Reddit Rumble is oh dude, yes. Adam, that is a huge shout out. Ready to Rumble, auto include. Is that too much of a hot take to say? Auto include for Jessica Jones? I think so. One cost upgrade, max 1 per player. After you change form, this card ready your hero. And she's changing form every single turn. Yeah. Holy cow. Jessica Jones in the basic, like with just basic cards, is readying bonkers, guys. And the more ready she gets, the more she powers it up with this. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me show you. See? Like, she's popping off with the evidence counters. Guys, come on. Like, every time she readies and she activates, she gets the evidence counter. Ready to Rumble. Like, I know it's max 1 play. I know it's an upgrade. This is an event for her. You pay 1 cost, is essentially limited stamina, because you ready every single turn, because you're flipping down every single turn. Incognito mode, change back up to hero form. So I think Rumble is an all include 3 copies of this card, and she wants to ready. She's a hero that wants to ready. She has 3 thwarts to ready even more. Yeah, ready to run. That is a huge shot. I think that's a great card. Gaston says, "Come on, people, give it more likes." Where it's yeah, guys. Please like the stream. I think that pushed the stream more. So yeah, if we can get the likes up more, that would be helpful for our channel. But yeah, thanks, Gaston. Bill says, "Do we know when we're gonna have information about Luke?" Not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be next week though. Next Thursday we should have Luke. Best combo pair: Jessica Jones, Ready Morgan, and Quicksilver. I think so. Actually, I think so. Champion Mel. Now that you say it, she can trigger lay down the defense or anything like that. That's true as well. Yeah. Jessica Jones cards are so cheap. She'll be really good. Yeah. Chain form cards would be good for her. Yeah. Ready to Rumble is also a lightning resource for the new Captain Marvel ally. Oh yeah, it is. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, guys, I am, man, 3 Ready Rumbles, 3 what do you call it? Joys of Life. You have her own ready-in kit that shuffles back into your deck with Breakthrough. Each time you ready, you're putting out these counters, or each time you activate, you're getting the evidence counters. You just put you just stack player sides in her deck, right? You run like 10 player side schemes, you know what I mean? She's clearing all of them easily. She's getting built out quickly. She's throwing for 3 in True Slow. She kills them all like immediately, and you get evidence counters each time you do that. With the readies, you can attack for 2, get your evidence counter. You flip the villain to stage 3, and then Alias Investigation kills that final stage in 1 shot. I don't know, guys. I feel like she's powerful. I feel like she's pretty game breaking. Yeah. Champion Mill says, I quote the article, if you don't get enough counters. Yeah, that's hilarious here. Let me find that again. Let me see. If you don't let's see. Enough counters. Yeah, here. This is hilarious. Even with so many ways of adding evidence counters, sometimes you may not be able to build up fast enough for your liking. Nah, I think there's enough ways to build that up. It's crazy because Ready for Rumble, this card is pretty balanced. Like, no one says it's an overpowered card, and I think it's a great card in the game. This might get reprinted in the future. You know what I mean? It may get reprinted for Jessica Jones too, like in her precon deck. And I know it's a legacy card, but like, this card's so good. Wait, actually, is it? Oh no, it's been in Mutant Genesis. So yeah. So yeah. Mel says, "What's your liking? 25 to 40 counters." Yeah. I think I feel like that's quite easy for Jessica Jones to get. Like, if you get it right every single turn, she activates twice a turn. That's 2 per turn. You get all the cards give her counters as well. Like, you're just stacking on counters. It's more easy to get counters than it is to do damage for her. Yeah, I love the win. I love the mini game of using alias investigations to get more counters. I love that, guys. That's so fun. Um, Mimi says, is alias investigations not just a tier 3 Ironheart ability, but much faster and less flexible? Oh, yeah, yeah. That's what you guys meant. Okay, I didn't understand the comparison with her and Ironheart. Because Ironheart, it's like I didn't get the win con, but like, yeah, with Ironheart, okay, let me pull it up for everyone that doesn't know how Ironheart works. Yeah, so for Ironheart, her win con is just win the game. You had to defeat the villain. But we have no art here for Ironheart. Oh man. So with her hero ability on version 3, maximum efficiency, hero actually remove a counter to deal 2 damage to enemy. So basically just build out a bunch of counters, and if you get enough progress counters, then you automatically win the game. But I think it's much more difficult for Ironheart to build counters here than it is for Jessica Jones to get her alias investigation counters. Iron Strike says aggression looks great for Battlefield and spoiling for a fight for more readies. That's true too. And she's deleting non-elite minions every single turn with your 4K camcorder. So this will kill the non-elite minions. Champion Mel says, I would say she is very weak to elite minions. Like the Thunderbolt, she's very weak to elite them. Yeah. Yeah, elite minions are tough for her because her max damage is 5 damage. One cost is so cheap though, but she's just doing the 5 damage there. And then she can swing in for another 2. So like she has so many readies though, so if you ready her a lot, you can obviously swing for more. So maybe it'll be through the readies where she can really do more damage, like with her basic activation. But yeah, let's try to get the likes here to 50 guys. I think that will push the stream more too. Heroic Skeleton says, wait, you can just stack enough counters for both stages and end the turn without the villain doing anything in stage 2. Wait, you can just stack enough counters for both stages and end the turn without the villain doing anything in stage 2. No. So you won't be able to do that. Yeah, that won't work, unfortunately, because so the A's investigations has a response and it's all one effect. So as a response, after a side scheme is defeated, you exhaust a card. So you can only trigger this when a side scheme is defeated. You place 2 more counters. Then you don't have to, but you may remove counters from here equal to the villain's remaining hit points to defeat the villain's current stage. So just deletes that current stage. But since it's already exhausted, the villain has a second stage, you won't be able to do it again unless you can ready back up and defeat another side scheme. You know what I mean? Yeah, because you have to exhaust it. Yeah. So like, yeah, if you can ready it back up, then you can do it again, but you have to defeat a side scheme each time. So without defeating a side scheme and exhausting a card, you cannot defeat the villain stage. So you have to summon out a side scheme, but I think the side scheme thing is not going to be tough for her to get out because she has her own player side scheme. Yeah, her own play side scheme. Heroic says exhaustion is pretty fair. It balances out for sure. I think exhausting helps it a lot more in multiplayer, right? Because then this card would be destructive in multiplayer because then like it's when any side team's defeated, when other players have you defeated, you do that as well. You know what I mean? So actually that helps for True Soul as well, right? You just capping it for once per round is great for the card. But I think it's still pretty crazy in True Solo. Just because the villain's hit points don't scale. Like, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Champion Mel says, I just realized how brutal the Sentinel minion with capture for extermination attachment. I'm not even sure. Let me see. Let me pull that up. Sentinel mission with capture for extermination. Is that the name of the card? I have no clue what you're talking right now. I'm unable to find it here on Hall of Heroes. I actually don't know. Oh, targeted for extermination. Okay. Is that the caller card? No, it's not. What is this? What if the player who defeats the scheme confuse their identity? You defeat the scheme, you get confused. I feel it's not that bad, right? Am I tripping? Unlock says it's basically like Ironheart's counters to win the game. Yeah. It's basically like Ironheart's counters, except you do have to throw off a side scheme to do it. But so like Ironheart's counters you can use on a minion. So I think that's like versatile and like that's nice. And then like it would be balanced. I would have said that they're balanced, except I just feel like it's so much easier to get counters on alias investigations. Because I feel like as you build out And as you defeat the first stage of the villain, by the time the first stage is defeated, I think that I'm gonna have 30 counters already. You know what I mean? Like 20, 30 counters. Like very few villains have more than like 22 life on that final stage, anyways. You know what I mean? So I think by the time that I get there, I'll already have naturally built enough counters to already defeat stage 3, you know? Oh, elimination, not extermination. Okay, sorry. Let me pull up that card. Elimination. Elimination. Okay. Okay. As attachment, attach your identity if a copy of this is not attached. Otherwise, it surges. When you engage with Sentinel, you cannot change. Oh, that's fun. Ah, not even. Not even. Okay, so when you engage Sentinel, you cannot change from hero form to alter ego. But as an action, exhaust your identity, discard this card. So, like, if you're Jessica Jones, you just exhaust one time, you discard it, you play Ready to Rumble, change to alter ego, change back to hero form, ready back up. You know what I mean? So like I feel like because the way to get rid of this card is just by exhausting, Jessica Jones can ready so easily that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? So I think that's the only thing with her. But yeah, I mean, if it had a more difficult way to get rid of, then it would be rough for Jessica Jones to not be able to flip. But yeah, Jessica Jones, I think she's still cruising through that card. Narino says, I think they're making Tenacity better with Fear and Evil. Imagine 3 Tenacities on board with Daredevil or Jessica Jones for a push. Yeah, it's better. I would say this. I think so. You guys know I love Tenacity. I don't know if I'm necessarily included with Jessica Jones and Daredevil. I think that it's usable with them for sure. Yeah, I think I do like that they're like readying a lot. I think like having more readies is like interesting in the game. But yeah, yeah, I think Tenacity has used. I don't think it's the craziest thing, but it's better. It's not as good as like Ready to Rumble. You know what I mean? So yeah, thoughts here. Okay, let's get some final thoughts here. Okay. Oh, Breakthrough ended up winning, guys. Because I let the poll here running for a little bit longer. Best Jessica Jones card. You guys voted for 45% for Breakthrough and 36 for Calling Favors. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty split between those two cards too. They're both really good cards. All right, guys, let me know. Okay, we've basically seen the same amount of cards for Daredevil and Jessica Jones. So that's gonna be the final poll here, and then we will call the stream. Which hero is stronger from what we've seen? We don't know because we never played them both, Daredevil or Jessica Jones. Which is stronger? And then, oh wait, we're gonna do 2 polls. Let's do the first poll. Which one do you like more? So I think you guys will vote that you guys like Jessica Jones more. And I think I like her more too. But there's caveats for me. I like the design direction of Jessica Jones. I feel like she feels more like Jessica Jones and Daredevil feels like Daredevil. Even though I do think that Daredevil is thematic as well. I think that might change depending on how I play them and depending on how strong Jessica Jones is. Because you guys know I'm a fan of strong heroes. I don't mind when a hero is like super powerful, but I don't necessarily think any hero really breaks the game yet in terms of like being so powerful where they're unfun. And I'm just worried that Jessica Jones might be doing that. So if she doesn't do that, then I'm fine with her, right? And I'll probably like her more than Daredevil. Also, if I don't have more fun playing the senses with Daredevil, because I think it might actually be really fun to attach senses and like move them around and stuff. That might feel very fun for Daredevil. But right now, from the preview article only, I think Jessica Jones looks a lot more cool. So I think you guys agree with that. But we'll have the poll here. Champion Mel says, full basic Jessica Jones deck with pool aspect for stick to itness. Yeah. I think that will pop the heck off, dude. Stick to itness is like the only pool aspect card you need for her. And like, yeah. And then yeah, she's doing great with that. Hero Skeleton says, I think I'll love her even if she's too strong. Yeah, yeah. I can definitely see that. Blue Nathan says, Jessica Jones, I wonder if she will get the Justice starting condition card in your pre-con. Yeah, I think she should, right? I think she should with another +1 Thor. But like, dang guys, a +1 Thor starting card for Jessica Jones, giving her to 4 Thor. The problem is, even if she has it, I don't think I would run it with her or play on turn 1. I don't think I need it. Cause like 3 Thor is like perfect. Going any higher than that, you're getting diminishing value, right? I don't, or in true solo, right? I think in multiplayer, I think fourth or going higher. She's a hero that can thwart for whole table for sure with her thwarting. Like so many readies with the base stat line 3 thwart hero. It's bonkers, guys. It's bonkers. It's gonna be so good. Like honestly, she might have. We're gonna do some more polls here. I think this poll is like basically done, right? You guys voted for 77% of you guys agree that Jessica Jones, or you guys would like Jessica Jones more than Daredevil. Okay, let's do another poll here before I ask between Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Will Jessica Jones be better than Cable with side schemes? From what we've seen, I almost feel like she will be because Cable gets one free. No, okay, no, I don't know, I don't know. It's tough because Cable gets one free ready, right? Jessica Jones can ready a lot anyways. Cable gets a star side scheme off in play, but he has 2 thwart. Jessica Jones has 3 base thwart. So if you just put in 10 side schemes, you're probably gonna draw anyways. She thwart off immediately. But I think where Cable might have the lead is with the Gray Malkin readying each time a side scheme is defeated. Jessica Jones doesn't have anything to combat that, I think. I think if it wasn't for the Gray Malkin, Jessica Jones might be ahead a little bit. But with Gray Malkin, I don't know. I think Cable might still be number 1. In what way? Better at clearing them or getting more value from them? Getting more value. So as like, because Cable is the best side scheme hero. Jessica Jones thwarts them better with 3 base thwart. And she gets value as well because each time she's throwing, you get an evidence counter where you get 2 more, you get 3 from defeating a side scheme. Because if you basically thwart a side scheme, you get 3 evidence counters, you get 2 more with this thing. So like, I don't know. I feel like that's really good value. And she wants to defeat side schemes, right? Does she have anything that works off that? Maybe she doesn't have anything else that works off defeating side schemes actually. But yeah, and then she has her own player side scheme where she can infinitely like bring back out and like draw 3 cards, you know? So I don't know. Champion Mail says, if we're talking about endgame potential, he just one-shots the villain. Yeah, true. Assuming you can do it the next stage. Yeah, but it's like Jessica Jones can also one-shot the villain with enough counters on the aliens investigations, you know? Heroic says, I think aliens just puts her over the top for sure. Or puts her over the top. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I can definitely see that. I think it's debatable. And the poll looks like it's really close too. Yeah. Iron Strike says, I generally don't play downtime, but I think I use it with Jessica Jones. Downtime. So +2 recovery for her. I don't think I'd run it. You could definitely make the case because she's accessing Artigo so easily. But I think like she can ready up so much. Like I can just ready up and double heal I wanted to. And like 4 is already quite high. I feel like I don't necessarily need it. But you could definitely make the case for it. Yeah. I think it's a great card for her. Yeah. Okay, let me check this poll here, guys. Where are we at? Super close. So will Jessica Jones be better than Cable with side schemes? 40% yes, 60% no. Okay, so you guys still have Cable as the top. But oh man, Heroic Skeleton, that's a huge shout out, dude. Meditation. Meditation is great with her, but you need to put the rest of the cards in her deck with like expensive cards. Yeah, but I think I agree. You meditation is great for her for sure. Yeah, because she exhausts, she can ready back up quite easily with like Red Rumble or something, you know. But you need targets for the meditation, and all the cards in her kit are so cheap. But maybe we can put in like a bunch of expensive allies or like Mansion, Helicare, stuff like that. But yeah. Curtis says great call. Yeah. That is a great call out, but you have to really focus around it, I think. Yeah, because I almost feel like you need to have expensive cards to hit with it. Champion Mel says close quarter is better all the time. Close quarter, is that the or crew quarters, right? Yeah. I'm usually not a big fan of that card, but yeah, I think it would be good with Jessica Jones because she is flipping down all the time. Okay, so we have now it's even closer. We have 45% of votes here for Jessica Jones being better than Cable. 55 say no. So very, very close here. Okay, finally. Okay, last poll. Last poll, guys, is who do you think is stronger? Daredevil or Jess? All right, guys, who do you think is stronger? And like, I think like what 30%, 40% people voted that Daredevil would be the strongest here in the game. So like, this is a tough one. But Jessica Jones, like for me, it's debatable. Like I am conflicted here. I don't even know. Like guns in my head, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Guns in my head. Oh man, I feel like I mean guns in my head. I'll get shot because I don't know. I want to. I feel like Jessica Jones. I feel like Jessica Jones to be honest. I'm not sure. Um, Heroic says cool build to go heavy on expensive allies with both meditation and call in favors. Yeah, you can always play in for very cheap. Unlock says I don't see this aliasing as all that different from everyone flipping villains to stage 2 and using the 2 best attack events to kill them instantly. So like I would say this. You normally need 3 of your like best attack event. So like what I usually do with Spider-Man is a triple swing web kick. Triple swing web kick. That's like 12 ER for 24 damage, which is usually needed around that amount of ER to do that amount of damage, right? So like for a hero like Jessica Jones, right, and she's purposely missing damage because of that. Her only attack event is this, and she has 2 copies. It's a 1 cost attack event that damage. So she plays this twice, it's 10 damage, and then she can swing for 2, that's 12 damage, and she'll need to ready more to do more damage. But if you're low on life and the villain has ready, which a lot of stage 3 villains do, you take a lot of damage back. You know what I mean? So like I would say this, not all heroes can actually set up that final stage. And that's why some heroes lack in damage for me, right? I think that some heroes just lack that setup to be able to do that. Which I think is a good thing. Again, I don't think all heroes should be able to set that up. I think it's cool that not all of them can. But Jessica Jones definitely cannot. But it doesn't matter because she has this to like fill in the gaps for her, you know? Heroic Cousin says, I don't think Daredevil looks S tier, but I gotta look over his kit again. Okay. Daredevil only because Jessica Jones has diminished return in multiplayer. That's true. I mean, some people say that Daredevil has diminishing return in multiplayer as well. I don't agree with that, but I agree that Jessica Jones is not. Yeah, I think in multiplayer Daredevil is gonna be stronger because Jessica Jones really only breaks the game in true. So I don't think that she will break the game in multiplayer. I think that she'll be a fine, fun hero. I think in true solo, that's where I'm worried that she might break the game. So let me see what we have here for the poll. Who do you think is strong? Okay, 54% Daredevil, 46% Jess. So pretty close. Okay, let me ask another question here, guys. Sorry, I keep on saying one more question, but I have so many questions for y'all. I want to know what the community thinks too. So the question here is, Jessica Jones, does she break the game for true solo? That's my last question here. That's what we're gonna end this stream with. Does Jess break the game for true solo? And honestly, I don't know. I hope not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in chat what you guys are thinking too. If you think Jessica Jones, if this A's investigation thing completely breaks the game for true solo, I don't know. Let's see. Tired old dude, welcome to the chat. What about a repurposed deck with Jess? Wouldn't that give her massive swing with raise and then counters for the win? Yeah, that could work for sure. I think that's strong. I feel like I would personally just ear towards like the readies with basic cards because with a purpose you have to set up even more. You have to do more setup with playing like your what's that called? Your tech cards, you know what I mean? But obviously you have like energy shoots for like easy readies. But I think it's just more setup because we already got to set up a lot to have her thwart enough to get enough evidence counters to build this out. But yeah, I would say, yeah. Like it's good. I think that it's not like game breaking for her. Curtis says Jessica Jones could lean into Float Like a Butterfly and then access Arc Eagle without letting the villain scheme. Oh, that's a good shout out. Yeah. Because you keep the confused on a villain, they'll never scheme on you other than if you're like in advance or something, right? But you just stay up in here for the whole game. Yeah, that's a good one. Jimbo says with legacy cards, maybe, but current environment, she's probably just really strong but not broken. I think so, right? I think so. Because Ready to Rumble, that's legacy. I don't know. I just feel like her actual mechanic is so good though. I just feel like this card, Alias Investigation, is just so good. Let me think. Let me think. What? I think I disagree actually. Now that I think about it more, I feel like she doesn't need the legacy cards to break the game in true solo because she's got where is it? She's got Squirrel Girl, she's got Nick Fury, the basic ally. She's got Run to the Ground, and she's got the which I think is really good in current environment. Like this is probably the best Justice event, I guess, for her, whatever, like Justice event, you want to say that. For current environment Justice cards are pretty good right now. They're pretty stacked with Wonder Man's packed. So I actually feel like she has some pretty good stuff. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I feel like she's pretty good. Shannon Mel says she does. She breaks any system that bypasses. Yeah, even with Civil War. Yeah, like she kills Civil War villains on the flip. So I just don't understand that developer, that designer panel where they literally said we are doing more things to prevent people from bursting down the stage 3 the villain, and Jessica Jones is the best burster of stage 3 villains because she, even if they can't take damage, she doesn't do damage. She just defeats the villain's current stage. So I don't know. Let me see. Jimbo says we'll probably get more broken looking heroes as the game goes on. Oh, I hope not, dude. If you factor in legacy because designers are just creating cards factoring in the current environment, that's a fair point. Like I've been loving the last designs, although you can argue that some of them are broken. Like Hercules, for example. Hercules is so good for the game. The fact that I think he's a C tier hero, but some people think that he's A tier strong, right? Like the fact that there's a debate about him, and the fact that he's well designed either way. Like he's just a very unique hero. He's even better. I think in multiplayer he's A tier. I said that multiple times. I think he jumps 2 tiers at higher player counts. Like a hero like him is great for the game. I think Falcon, for me personally, he's not super strong, but I think he's good for the game. To have that scrying effect, but like less board control. Like Winter Soldier, and Tigra, they're so strong for minion slayers, but like for stuff that doesn't have minions, they're more difficult to play with. You know what I mean? I just feel like those are such great designs and great additions to the game without breaking it. We can just keep that going, but I feel like Jessica Jones and Daredevil may be like pushing it more now. I don't know. So I don't know. Blue Nathan says build support into Quinn Care might be the defender's best way to get a resource generator if defenders don't get. Yeah, thing is like I will do it. And I like doing it. Like I don't hate doing it. I don't like building all decks like that because I just feel like I much rather include like a mansion than like include a dead card that I can get with build support. You know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. I know you guys have that like reservation between build supporting into Quinn Care. Like I don't mind it. Like it's not a thing that I'm like, oh, I won't do it. And I actually like enjoy doing it for some heroes, but like I'm not always I'm not as gung ho about it as like just putting in like a mansion. You know what I mean? I feel like putting in a mansion is more like, okay, like it's a card that I can play, But yeah, I think that might be the way with Daredevil and Jessica Jones because they thwart so well. They're just such good thwarters. Yeah, I like heavily considered for my Daredevil build, but I end up not doing it because I was like, because of that like reservation I have with it. But you made the case that that's really good for him, So Jimbo says it'll be good content for you. Games with current and games with legacy, then compare the games and see if she's at the same power level. Yeah. I mean, I'll play with her precon and like we'll just see if she demolishes like Ronin with her precon deck. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Champion Bell says, yeah, there is so many fun cards that deck space is limited to keep it at 40. Yeah. Man, guys, get your votes in. Holy cow. Does Jessica Jones break the game for true solo? 50% yes, 50% no. We are tied up here. So, yeah, I guess chat is as split as I am. Yeah, I'm not sure either. Is Jessica Jones going to break Marvel Champions in true solo? We're tied up here. Yeah, I'm also entirely split. I don't know. I hope not. But her design looks great. I mean, honestly, of the heroes that I think, okay, I'm not gonna say like in terms of pure hype because I think I'm more excited for Daredevil. So just because like it's a Daredevil character, but I think in terms of design, from all the heroes that we've seen so far in Civil War and in Defenders, I think Jessica Jones, like I vibe with her design a lot. She might be like my favorite type of design with all the alter ego stuff and like free form flipping. I like the design a lot. I just wish that it was more. I wish she was undertuned. Yeah, I wish it wasn't as powerful as it looks, but her design is like so good, guys. It's so cool. Yeah, this is like my favorite type of way to play Mario games, like flipping down all the time. Yeah, very, very cool build here. Very cool kit. There's some more votes, but it's still tied up 50-50. Okay, so I guess we don't know then. We are completely tied up here. We don't know if she breaks the game, but she may break the game. All right, guys, that is it for this live stream here, guys. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining this. As usual, went way over what I wanted to, but I am I am happy to see her in the game, and I am shocked to see like her mechanic here and her having the alias investigations be a she's the only other hero in Marvel Champions that has a new win con, and I like that a lot. I just wish it was harder to do. I think for multiplayer she's amazing, but I think for true solo, yeah, it's gonna be quite easy. All right, guys, that's it for live stream. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you guys as usual so much. Thank you for everyone that liked the stream. Thank you for everyone that was chatting with me for everything. Yeah, I appreciate you guys a lot, and yeah, glad to have you guys here, and cool that we're able to preview the article here for Jessica Jones together. So cool, guys. Yeah, and I will put a pinned comment on this video with all of her cards laid out, because we know all of her cards here. So or we know all of them except for 2 upgrades. So yeah, I'll have the pinned comment if you guys want to see like what her kit looks like, if you want to like deck build and like theory craft with her cards. Yeah, guys, thank you, Jimbo, thank you, Taro dude, thank you, Champion Mel, thank you everyone that was in the chat, guys. All right, guys, hope you guys have a great Thursday and a great rest of your weekend. I'll see you guys next week. Next week, guys, Luke Cage, we're gonna be previewing his article as well, of course. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, 9% chance for Luke Cage, and we'll be previewing his article, and we'll be seeing what his kit looks like as well. All right, guys, I'll see you guys all later. Bye.